The Knicks getting the win in Game 2, making it a little easier than it was in Game 1 for them. We'll talk more about the Western Conference Finals as Game 3 tonight in San Antonio, but a lot of other things to talk about. Baseball, as a lot of series getting started around Major League Baseball, college baseball, conference tournament week going on, football, both NFL and college, and even some college basketball news out there. So a lot to discuss, but Brett, how are you this afternoon?
Brian, I'm doing well, and it's great to have Connor in with us, and we know he's a big Chicago White Sox fan, and I was looking at the standings just before we came on, and if the playoffs started today, they don't, but we're at, about 51 games in. We did play a 60-game schedule during the vid year, so if things really got out of sorts, this might be the end of the year, couldn't it?
I guess so.
But I'm looking at the playoffs. Are Cardinals in there? The Southsiders in there.
Yeah.
Would be the wacky number 5 seed, the second wild card.
How about that? Yeah, we've talked about them a lot. They're a fun team this year, and I think getting a lot of White Sox fans excited about what could be coming in the future for them. A lot of fun young guys up in the lineup. The pitching rotation's pretty young, and they've been having a lot of success. So yeah, it's been fun to watch them this year.
Not only the Cardinals never going to win another game ever again, they may not ever play again. Already scratched for tonight.
Yeah, weather an issue pretty much all over the place, and you're already seeing some games being moved, postponed. You mentioned the Cardinals already postponed. A lot of college baseball today has been altered. Even high school baseball, their state championships going on right now. Those games being delayed and altered. So it is rain is making its name today across baseball.
Yeah, it is. Boy, if you're trying to travel this holiday weekend with all the weather, I think it would be fun. Not so fun out at the airports. Fun in Dallas, though, at the Birdie Binge. Mm-hmm. So far, over a day and a half, we've got a lot of players still playing. Every single score, this is the bingo tournament, every score from 61 to 77 has been turned in. No 78s, no 79s, and 180.
Wow. How about that? I feel bad for the 180.
Don't you?
Yeah, no, that is that's not great, but yeah, a lot of birdies going on down there in the Big D.
The 180 for Nathan Petronzio.
All right, never heard of him. He's one of those guys I've never heard of, so it's okay.
Any local Petronzios are our best wishes.
That's right. Good luck. Have at him. I mean, I can't say much. He's playing a PGA Tour event, and I'm just into a microphone, so good for him.
That's right.
Good for him. I can't say much about him, but yeah, birdies all over the place.
All over the place.
Dallas, yeah.
I mean, just Sunjay M, 61 today. Jordan Spieth. Who had Jordan Spieth this week?
That's me, yeah.
Number 1 pick, wasn't it?
Sure was, yeah.
I questioned it. I openly questioned it, didn't I?
I think everybody openly questioned it.
I didn't question you. I questioned it.
That's okay.
I mean, there's a difference, isn't it?
It seems very similar. I don't know. It seems
You're
like...
not feeling so good about it?
No. It seems like those are two in the same, maybe.
I think they can be mutually exclusive.
Maybe. It's a fine line, I think.
I know your golf expertise.
Do you?
It's probably not up there with your hockey expertise.
Certainly not.
But it is up there. It is enormous. But I did question that. Mm-hmm. I didn't. Writ large, I did not question. In the micro, I'm like Kenny Atkinson. I had a micro moment on it.
There you go. I understand.
Why do we have to tell the Cavaliers this isn't a late January game?
I don't really know. I don't know.
Their urgency looked like it was a Tuesday night at home against Brooklyn.
Yeah, it's
been January 30th.
Yeah, it's been a weird
almost
series.
32nd on January.
Well, it's that'd be weird. Talk about
that. It would.
The 60-game season. That's weird, but that would be even weirder if there was a 32nd in there in January. But no, it's been weird. I think you saw what they did against Detroit in that last series, and I think that gave you a lot of confidence about what they could maybe do against the Knicks, and to see kind of the way that Game 1 ended, the way that Game 2 played out, especially in the second half. Give them credit. They were competitive early in the game and were in there, but there were times in that game that you were questioning a lot of different things, and it was a lot of effort from that Cavaliers team.
Brian, you remember a few years ago when we were just getting started on the Wild West of college sports, on recruiting, on paying the players just pure D, on the barrelhead. Just no pretense at all about it anymore. Don't have to. And I said, I'm going to lose my mind if the first big investigation is Ole Miss. Remember when I said that?
Yeah, I do.
And I'm going to say I first cracked that open fall of 21 or for sure spring-ish sometimes in 22. So we're getting on some years now, me saying it. Least surprising headline maybe in the history of time. NCAA opened Ole Miss probe after Dabo complained.
Old Dabo getting it done. How about that?
Big screaming headline over the California linebacker transferring. We will talk with Pat Smith at 5 o'clock today. NC State had a running back last year that transferred, that is now at Texas. He was at Alabama for the first week of spring classes in January.
Is that right?
When Texas got him.
Wow.
Yes. What is his name?
Hollywood Smothers.
Hollywood Smothers.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Hollywood Smothers, and he was in class. Never mind what was being done by the previous coaching staff at Ole Miss for Trinidad Chambliss and Kwan Lacey, and they got T.J. Dotter, and they got Prince William and Winston Watkins, and one more offensive lineman. They didn't play a lot, but I think it's going to be a good player. I can't recall his name. And never mind, there's just no rules out there. And now we have that and the mountain of emails to go into and the mountain of investigation and the mountain of legal defense. And I love that the NCAA, in their initial language, according to documents obtained by ESPN through an open records request, they contacted the Ole Miss compliance officer and got this in. Additionally, please let this email serve as a reminder that the institution and its representatives have an affirmative and automatic duty under bylaw 19.2 to preserve all relevant materials. That means get ready for A to Z exam.
Oh yeah, no question. Yeah, it's weird, and I've been kind of waiting to see when somebody tries to call this out. I mean, it's been called out, but when the investigation starts, because it's very strange, and I'm really not even talking about the Ole Miss situation. I'm talking more about the Hollywood Smothers situation, because I did not know that, and it's really fascinating to me, I think, because with the transfer portal, it's so weird because you've got the languaging of signing. This guy signed with a team, but it's not the same as how a recruit, like how a high school recruit signs with a program and signs his NLI and he's with the program. It's more of just like your money contract. It's like how much you're going to make. You just have to transfer. It's just like any other student transferring. You just enroll at the new school you're going to. And so I'm now extremely curious about how this Hollywood Smothers situation played out with him at Alabama.
Let me amend on a week of school. I know he was in class, maybe not for a full week.
But still,
let me back that up.
I think a week, a couple days, that all plays in the same. There's a deadline.
One class.
Yeah.
If you're there for one class, you're there for Western Civ.
Yeah,
you're in class.
Sure, and so that's the question I have is, obviously there's a deadline where you can unenroll from classes and a deadline to enroll in classes, but you see all the teams posting, oh, this guy signed, this guy signed, this guy signed. How did that work out in terms of his whatever contract Alabama had with him? Because I'm sure there was a contract there.
Did you ever have to physically stand in a drop ad line, or was it all online?
Oh, it was all.
You never, in the day, you would go to the student. I had to go to the student union and stand in line. And I'm a freshman, and I think I signed up for 16 hours, and I was going to drop I was going to drop a class, and it was approaching the last day of drop. It was, you no longer could add. I'm going to say this is about the 5th of October, about 6 weeks in.
Sure.
And I'm about 4th in line and didn't know the first two people in line. Good friend of mine is 3rd in line.
Okay.
And he turned and asked me, truly bewildered. He said, is it $10 an hour to drop a class, or can you drop for $10 everything? I said, well, I'm really not sure. I said, let's get up here and find out. And it was $10 to drop anything. 1 hour, 15 hours, 16. He dropped the whole shooting works. he said, "What the heck?" He said, "I'm just gonna I'm gonna get them in January."
Man, well. Hey, I guess if you're gonna drop something, might as well just drop it all. I mean, you're already
just drop
there.
it all.
You don't need to stand in line again. Let's just go ahead and get rid of all of it.
College algebra and freshman English was eating him up.
That is hilarious. Yeah.
Clean sweep. He walked away with 0 hours.
Yeah, a lot easier now
in October.
To add and drop classes. That's crazy. That is wild. So yeah, a lot has changed since you were adding and dropping classes. Now it's just a click of the button. Hey, you want to drop that? Really? Click of the button. Yeah. Yep, wow. It is very, very easy.
What's the going rate for dropping?
The large amount of money of FREE. It is free. There's no
Is that
fee.
right?
I don't believe so. I mean, I think I only dropped one class in college. Connor, I think, dropped a couple, but I think I didn't pay any money.
Connor, why Connor get that straight?
I just know that you dropped a couple classes.
I only dropped one.
Okay.
I only dropped one.
You almost made it sound like you hit the eject button like my friend did. Connor, recent grad.
No,
you just went to the man's commencement.
It came to mind because I remember him asking me about dropping the class, and we had a conversation about it. I mean,
Connor, great minds like me and you are thinking alike about just how the whole process really works.
Yes, you have questions, you gotta ask. I mean, it's understandable, but yeah, no, it's gonna be interesting what happens with this Ole Miss situation. And speaking of NCAA also coming out. I guess this happened earlier in May, is what it's being reported. But new guidelines for how schools can go out and get international pros and bring them over for college
after everybody's
basketball.
gotten them.
That's exactly right, and that's one of the big issues. Jonathan Gavoni quote tweeting our friend Kevin Sweeney, who had the story for Sports Illustrated, saying the NCAA's new, very poorly timed rule sends a clear message. International players are no longer welcome in college basketball. ACB, France, Italy, Australian, NBL, and everyone who's ever played for a EuroLeague team, even for next to nothing, are suddenly ineligible, ? And then said, if this new rule is enforced as written, at least half of college basketball's preseason top 25 teams just lost one or more starters. Dropping it in May with no replacement options available makes very little sense. So
that's just to be cruel.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely...
And they are.
Well,
and they're that small and that menial.
Well, Brett, I think you're giving them a little too much credit. I think they saw all the uproar of everything and they go, oh my gosh, we've got to do something. Let's drop this immediately and just...
Well, no, they're really spur of the moment. They're really dumb.
Very, yes.
But they're really mean.
Yes, well, but I like this. I like the idea of we've got to have some sort of semblance of you can't just go out and pluck a 25-year-old starter from a EuroLeague team and say you're our starting point guard next year.
Can't we say effective June 1, though?
No, that's what I'm saying. I like the rule. I don't think the rule itself is cruel or anything. I think the timing is just, it's dumb. I think
the NCAA, they are.
Yeah, I just don't like the way that they rolled this out. We'll see if they amend anything or if things change. But basically, some of these top leagues, these players are going to be deemed ineligible. This is what our friend Kevin Sweeney wrote about it. The guideline distributed on May 8th and obtained recently by Sports Illustrated lays out updated pre-enrollment eligibility requirements largely surrounding compensation and professional team involvement. How aggressively the requirements will be enforced is unclear, but they lay the groundwork for the NCAA to push back significantly on professional players in Europe and other top international leagues enrolling in college. In part, the guidelines state that prospective student athletes who, quote, entered an agreement with, competed on, or received compensation from a team that participates in a league with minimum compensation that exceeds actual and necessary expenses, end of quote, will not have their college eligibility reinstated. Document lists Major League Baseball, NBA, NFL, Premier League, and WNBA as examples as such leagues, but other top leagues globally could also qualify. So it sounds like this was more to put out there of these NBA guys can't come back, but it's largely also going to cover those international guys.
That would be Loki, wouldn't it?
So I don't. That's the thing, is I don't know exactly how it's ruled. Is it ruled that if a player in his contract makes more Or is it just if you played in this league that produces more and pays more than what the minimum is? I don't know. So is it a case by case, or is it just kind of league wide? Because him playing for Paris basketball, I think that would could apply for him. He could be one of those guys that could be in a little bit of trouble.
Boy, and for all the people that whined about Camerdine last year at Ole Miss, especially on the best game of the year, he had 26 against the Tigers. He's a pro. Well, Logie's a pro.
Yeah, no, it's exactly right. You look around the country, there are many pros that are playing college basketball right now.
And I thought Camerdine had been renamed.
Yeah.
He's a pro Camerdine.
Well, the comparisons. People comparing him to NBA guys after that game. I forgot who they were comparing him to right after.
Really,
the
his
game.
only good game of the year.
Yeah,
maybe one of them.
Yeah, I think it was Tyrese Maxey. No, not Tyrese Maxey. Tyrese Halliburton. I think they were comparing him to after that game.
Boy, it's heat of the moment, November talk.
Yeah. Well, right after the game, what else are you going to expect? Everything's heat of the moment right after the game. But yeah, it was a lot of Tyrese Halliburton comparisons out there after the Memphis game. At least I remember. So we've got a lot to talk about over these next 3 hours. So let me set it up before we get to top and not top story of the day. 3:30, Alan Bell from Driving the Line. He'll join us. We'll talk a lot of wagering with Alan, college baseball, Major League Baseball, the NBA. We'll cover it all with Alan. 3:45, we'll talk baseball, a lot of Major League Baseball, some really interesting series getting started this weekend, but also rain in the forecast at a lot of places. So we'll discuss that, also a little college baseball during that segment as well. 4 o'clock, Bruce Marshall from the Gold Sheet. He'll join us. We'll talk more wagering with Bruce. We'll get his thoughts on a lot of the things going on around the NCAA. We'll also get some picks with Bruce as well. 4:30, we'll talk the NBA playoffs. We'll discuss what happened last night between the Knicks and the Cavaliers. We'll also talk Game 3 of the Western Conference Final set for later tonight. 4:45, big number of the day. 5 o'clock, Pat Smith from Jocks down in Birmingham. He'll join us. We'll talk all things SEC, the SEC baseball tournament going on. We'll discuss what's happened in Hoover, but also the Destin meetings next week. We'll talk about what they'll be talking about down in Destin. 5:30, we'll talk about what's trending. And at 5:45, we'll wrap up today's show like we always do with Moe's Crunch Time. Let me remind you, in our Family Leisure Studios, where family and fun come together. Summer, it's right around the corner, and it's time to get those backyards ready for the ultimate pool party. Above-ground pools starting at $39.99 installed, with in-ground pools starting at just $49.99. All in-stock patio furniture is priced to move, with 5-piece patio furniture sets starting at just $999. Outdoor sectional starting at $12.99 with free umbrella and base available with select patio furniture sets. Hot tubs starting at $34.99 with swim spas starting at just $16,999. Special financing is available, and if you mention this ad while you're out there, get $200 off any pool or spa purchase. So head out there to Family Leisure, 2120 Whitten Road, just north of I-40.
With Connor Dacus producing, we are Sportstime. We're live and local and with you until 6 o'clock. We want you to be a part of our show by texting or calling 901-360-8255. That's the Sissy's Log Cabin text and talk line. All our guests would join us on the Sissy's Log Cabin guest line at 901-360-8255. He's Bryant. I'm Brett. We're Sportstime, and we're always live and local from our Family Leisure Studios. In this hour, brought to you every day by the great people at Lexus of Memphis at 2600 Ridgeway and online at lexusofmemphis.com. Great offers on all 2026 models and always special leasing options. Driving luxury and confidence, knowing that every new Lexus comes with complimentary first and second maintenance services. You can call them at 901-334-9673, but they invite you to stop by the only Lexus dealership in Memphis at 2600 Ridgeway, and that's where you can put yourself in the driver's seat of the all-new 2026 flagship LS500, and you'll be looking and you'll be driving in style. When you purchase a Lexus, you get top-of-the-line engineering and design, and they make for the safe luxury driving experience. Online at lexusofmemphis.com. Experience amazing at Lexus of Memphis.
Top story of the day.
Well, my top story of the day, it is the Knicks and their win last night, 109-93 over the Cleveland Cavaliers. Interesting game. Both teams came out. It was kind of like the start of game one. Both teams battling back and forth, but it was the Knicks that were able to get the win. They shot 52% from the field, 36% from three, 13 for 36, and it was their stars that came to play. The 5 starters all had 14 or more points, and most of those guys with much more than 14. You had Karl Anthony Towns with 18, Josh Hart with 26, Mikal Bridges with 19, Jalen Brunson with 19. They really didn't need much from the bench, only 3 guys playing 12 or more minutes off the bench, so it was the starters that were out there most of the night getting the job done for the Knicks. On the other side, the Cavaliers struggled to knock down shots, 39% from the field, only 26% from 3, 9 for 36 from three-point range. You look at those stars, James Harden 3 for 7 from 3, Donovan Mitchell 2 for 7 from 3. Donovan Mitchell did have 26 points, but you look at the bench for Cleveland, they relied on those guys a lot more, and you look at 4 points, 5 points, 4 points, 4 points. Those guys were not able to step in and make an impact. Dean Wade in the starting lineup with only 3 points as well, really struggling, only played 21 minutes. So now the Knicks, they're in full control up to nothing. We'll see if the Cavaliers, I think they can steal one at home, win a game at home, maybe make this a gentleman's sweep. The Cavaliers have been really, really bad on the road. Only those 2 wins against Detroit on the road this postseason. So maybe, the building will be rocking. They'll be able to get a win at home. But this feels like it's going to be all Knicks. But, we did say that in the last series against Detroit when they went up 2-0. So Cavaliers have been in this spot before, but I think the Knicks more rested. I think they've got a little bit more. I think they're more ready for the moment than what Detroit was in the last round and what Cleveland is in this round.
I'm getting caught up in the moment. It may be the Knicks' time.
It might be.
Might not be the junior varsity.
Yeah, it might not be.
The Knicks could beat Oklahoma City or San Antonio. I think they would beat San Antonio.
Really?
I do.
Wow. Okay.
Maybe so. My top story, Knicks. They win easily as the Cavs hardly even competed. I think it was a really poor effort. And James Harden, he catches his. He always catches a lot, everything, because he finds himself at this point in a lot of years just not able to get there. He's played in 1 NBA Finals ever, and that was way back with Oklahoma City when we thought we were rivals with them. And end of the year always ends in pretty shabby style for him. But what about Donovan Mitchell? I know you look at the box score, and that doesn't look so bad last night, but he needs to do more when it matters. That little bit of that is box score stuffing. Just somebody's going to get it, and he's good enough to get his, but you need to get it when it really matters. And I'm starting to think maybe it's destiny for the Knicks. They haven't lost a game since April 23rd.
Wow, that's impressive stuff. Maybe it is their year. It's going to be tough against either of these teams. But like we said, if the Knicks get a sweep here, a gentleman's sweep here, and they're just sitting back, relaxing, watching.
And that's enough. 4-1's enough.
No, it definitely is. But they can sit back and watch the Thunder and the Spurs go at each other in probably a 6-7 game series. So they could be in good shape by the time they meet either Oklahoma City or the San Antonio Spurs.
Not top story of the day.
Well, my not top story of the day, it is Game 3 tonight between the Thunder and the Spurs. It was really fun in both the games in Oklahoma City. The Spurs obviously taking Game 1 and OKC taking Game 2. We talked yesterday about the updates for the Spurs as both Dylan Harper and De'Aaron Fox both listed as questionable for tonight's game. So we'll see if one or both of those guys are able to go tonight. Would be huge if they could at least just have one of those guys back on the floor at home. We talked so much yesterday about who is the primary ball handler if you're without both of those guys. I think a lot of people would sit there and immediately go, Stephon Castle, that's the other guard in that backcourt. But when you look at what Stephon Castle has done in terms of turnovers this year and especially in this series, it feels like it would be really, really rough to throw him out there as the guy with with the rock. 3.2 turnovers per game this season, and in this series, 2 games against Oklahoma City, 9 turnovers in the last game, 11 in game 1. It would be really, really rough if he has to be your primary ball handlers. Hopefully for the Spurs, they can get one of those guys back. You know the arena's going to be rocking tonight with the Spurs at home against the Thunder. They're going to be giving it to Shea. They're going to be giving it to Hartenstein. They're going to be giving it to Chet, and we'll see if that team can step up on the road. This has been the series we've been waiting for. It's met and really surpassed the expectations that we had for it, and we'll see what Act 3 has for us later tonight.
My not top story, tomorrow marks 14 weeks until the start of college football, with the Tigers going to Sin City to play Mino, Dan Mullen, and Jackson Arnold. You know that Jackson Arnold's the quarterback of the Running Rebs?
Yeah, how about that?
We saw him at OU. I saw him at OU 2 years ago.
Yeah.
He was a good player at OU. Last year, he only had one job. You got to save Hugh Freeze's job.
Right.
Well, he didn't, and Hugh Freeze doesn't have a job any longer. Now, Charles Huff, I know he stands at 0-0, and we'll see how it plays out. But it feels like for the 4th straight Tiger head coach, Tiger football's relevant. 4 coaches in a row.
Yeah.
I know 0-0. I know happy talk leading into preseason. But you look at everybody out there, the Tigers could be that group of 16 this year. A lot will be decided 14 weeks from tomorrow. To get in the playoffs, I think it goes a long way to beat Vegas that day. I know not a conference game.
Yep.
Still could do it without that. And the point spreads are out.
Yeah,
Vegas, 3.5-point favorite over the Tigers that day. The next week when Memphis hosts Arkansas State, Tigers laying 10.5. Who you got?
Wow, they already
Friday football forecast. Give me a pick.
Cow. I'm not going to pick the week 1 game. I'll pick the week 0. That's insane that for a team that's playing in week 0, they already have a week 1 spread. That's ridiculous. First,
Yeah.
a team with.
Are we sure we know who the quarterback is?
No, I do not.
We
know
are
who the
not
quarterback
sure.
is. We are very not sure. Very unsure.
Are
matter
we
of fact.
sure we could name 10 players?
Yeah. I feel pretty.
I think we
confident.
could.
But it's a lot of new faces, and it's going to take a long time to learn all of these guys.
Tigers minus 10.5 against Arkansas State.
That's great. I would love to see how that one moves. I'd love to see how much the UNLV one moves. I'll take the Tigers plus 3.5 against UNLV.
Brian,
Why not?
you know how much I love ties.
Yeah.
And I thought it today. I knew once. I've seen the Tigers and Arkansas State tie twice.
Good Lord.
2 times. Sat through 2 of them.
Good Lord.
And sadly, Rex Dockery's last home game in 1983. 14-14 tie. And then Labor Day weekend 1990, what was that final? I looked 24-24.
Wow.
I've been to 2.
I think one would have done it
Arkansas
for
State.
me. I don't know if I could have done a second one.
My place in college football
Oh, no,
heaven.
it's special.
I stroll in, don't I?
It is very special. But
I'm gonna get in college football heaven a lot easier than
Yes.
than the other
hell,
one.
I don't know if I'd say that, but I think you're on the right path for both of them. But you got a good spot in college football heaven, that's for sure. But that'll do it for top and not top story of the day. Let's get to our first break, and when we return, we're talking some wagering. Alan Bell from Driving the Line, he joins us next.
Not only can you listen to your favorite shows on Sports 56, you can also watch video of the shows live on Twitter and YouTube. Watch and listen every day at Sports 56 WHBQ.
Hey everybody, I hope you're ready for summer because all the new Silverados are right here in Olive Branch at All-Star Chevrolet. No interest financing or $7,000 in cash. So go big with a brand new HD Silverado and make no payments all summer. No payments all summer with your new Trax, Colorado truck, or new Traverse with the 3rd row seating because your good credit deserves it. And this is Military Appreciation Month and our friends at All-Star love our military. In May, get a $1,000 military appreciation bonus on almost every Chevy model here, 1,000. And if you want a barely driven certified Chevy or the hottest pre-owned Chevys on the market, All-Star is spot on. Tahoes, Suburbans, even Trailblazers. And for all your fleet and commercial vehicle needs, express cargo passenger vans and all, they're here. That's right, at All-Star Chevy because they're a top-rated business elite dealer. Together, let's drive. Don't miss the Ready for Summer event going on now in Olive Branch at All-Star Chevrolet or go to allstarautogroup.com.
A long life is wonderful, but it comes with changes as you age. So when you're ready to change your home, Town Village Audubon Park is the perfect choice. Incredible location, amazing amenities, including a pool, all-inclusive dining, and on-site medical care so you can age in place. Monthly rental with no buy-in lets you make current choices. Apartments include full kitchen, washer and dryer, bi-weekly housekeeping, and all basic utilities. Landscape courtyards make it easy to get sunshine and fresh air. Gated parking keeps you ready to go. And the Town Village Dog Park keeps your fur baby close by your side. Hi, I'm Max. My wife Jean and I moved into Town Village Audubon Park 18 months ago. It's the best decision we ever made. We have made friends here and take part in lots of social activities. It's a comfortable life. So if you're thinking of making a change, come see me and Town Village Audubon Park. I think you'll like it as much as we do. And look, new friends.
This is Kelly Erb with Mark Spensdorf Realtors. I have worked with Sheldon Rosengarten for over 10 years and have noticed something about the way he works with his clients. He is way too honest, and they are grateful for us for pointing out things they were not aware of.
This is Sheldon, and yes, being honest has caused people to really think about what they need to do to sell their homes or when they buy. Kelly and I have advised people about what are the best and most economical things to do to prepare their homes for the market to get the best prices.
And Sheldon, we always provide our buyers with the necessary background research to advise them before they make an offer on a house. And yes, we have even sometimes talked clients out of buying, and they're grateful for us pointing out things they were not aware of.
So if you're thinking of buying a home, call or email Kelly or me, and before you list your home, talk to 2 to 3 real estate brokers, but make sure we are one of them.
Yes, remember to call me, Kelly Erb, at 355-3830.
And when you want the job done, call Sheldon at 483-0546 or memphisrelocate.com. Call us today.
So you need to sell your house? I have the solution. Call 901-406-1101. That's 901-406-1101. Call my buddy Bill at I Buy Houses. Any house, any area, as is. It's literally as simple as that. Just pick up your phone. Call 901-406-1101. That's 901-406-1101. Call my buddy Bill at I Buy Houses. Guaranteed to close in 5 days. If you need to sell your house fast, call Bill at 901-406-1101. That's Bill at I Buy Houses.
The Gossett Mitsubishi Epic Sale Down is on. Get America's best back vehicles with a 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty and epic deals. So get to Gossett Mitsubishi on the Pike for 2026 Mitsubishi Eclipse Cross, $30,660 or $419 a month. And every remaining 2025 Eclipse Cross, $5,000 off MSRP. 2026 Mitsubishi Outlander, $30,310 or $399 a month. Plus, all remaining 2025 Outlanders, $6,000 off MSRP. And 2026 Mitsubishi Outlander Sport, $26,055 or $399 per month. Plus, Tennessee residents get an additional $1,000 off all 26 Outlander Sports. So hurry to Gossett Mitsubishi, 1956 Covington Pike, online at memphismitsubishi.com.
If you want it, we got it at Gossett Motor Cars.
Cross TZ 003143, MSRP 31060, Outlander TZO 20866, MSRP 32810, Sport TUO 14208, MSRP 28555, includes all rebates and incentives, PF 895, excludes tax title and licensee dealer for complete details. Offer valid through end of the month with approved credit dealer stock only.
Sports 56 traffic.
Good afternoon. A little bit more volume in the last few minutes, pushing south of Memphis down the interstate here on 55 through South Haven into DeSoto County, all the way down to Tate County with some radar down through there south of Memphis earlier. As Midtown traffic strives to increase even more over here, I-40 up by Chelsea. Busy, but hey, at least it's moving. St. Jude's Children's Research Hospital is leading the way. The world understands, treats, and tries to help defeat childhood cancer. If you can help these kids in any way, log on right now to stjude.org. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Now back to Sports Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by Lexus of Memphis. Here are your hosts, Brett Stats Norsworthy and Bryant Dacus.
We're back into Sports Time. Bryant and Brett with you. We're trying to get a hold of Alan Bell to talk some wagering, but I know one thing we were going to talk about with Alan, and we'll talk about with him if we get him, is college baseball. Alan loves the college baseball action. It is conference tournament week right now. Things going on over in the SEC tournament at Hoover. Rain in Hoover right now. Connor showed me a video
Rain
earlier.
everywhere.
Oh, rain everywhere. But I mean, dugouts flooding. I mean, it is a downpour in Hoover right now. Right now, the Arkansas and Texas game, they put this out just a couple minutes ago, that the game between Arkansas and Texas now has a projected start time of no earlier than 4:30 Central Time. So
yeah, good luck with that.
Yes, it feels like that's going to just get pushed more
It's
and
that
more
time of
back.
year.
Yes, it really is. It's
and we're kind of used to it. Arkansas and Texas, it means a lot, but they're both firmly in. Now, Arkansas could be playing to be one of those last regional host sites next weekend, so we'll see. It was nothing more poignant of the day of the kind of crazy college sports world we're in. In downtown Charlotte, in the 8:30 Central Time game on like Tuesday morning. Did you see who it was?
Yeah, Stanford and Cal. I mean,
nothing says Stanford and Cal going across the country to play baseball on a Tuesday morning, does it?
And that's like, what, 4 a.m. their time? I mean, good Lord, they're still in bed at that time if they're back at home. But we got Alan with us
We're
now.
glad.
Yes, we are, from Driving the Line. He joins us every single Friday to talk some wagering. Alan, conference tournament week, fun week. I know you've been all over it, but SEC, we're trying to get baseball played today. Rain all over the place. This Arkansas-Texas game sounds like as early as 4:30 if they can try to get it in at that point. If they're able to play this game, who do you like, the Razorbacks or the Longhorns?
Right, great question. And first off, I appreciate you guys having me back. And look, it took 10 minutes just for me to get cell service. Nashville gets out of the storm.
Yeah,
It's
I know it
crazy.
is.
So apologies, I missed you guys. But look, I think Arkansas, it takes the weather part out of it. We're just going to Arkansas, Texas. I think Arkansas, because exactly what you all were saying, Arkansas could be playing themselves as one of those final top 16 to host for regional. Texas, they're clearly set. They know where they're at. But the problem is Texas is so good, even when it doesn't matter for them, they can still got to beat you. But I'll take Arkansas on this one, but again, weather.
You know, Hoover all week had gotten a little bit lucky, got real lucky the last couple years. But it's kind of the drill for that. Connor's right. Some of those pictures out there, it looks like SEC rowing could be hosted there.
You know what? Hey, working all in. It's kind of like spring fling in high school, right?
Yeah.
It's all the sports there. But yeah, it's tough when you're seeing it, man. Like you said, it's that time of year. It seems like we always get rain in the SEC baseball tournament, the Kentucky Derby, and the Masters. No matter what, you're going to get rain in all three.
It feels like that. How many from the SEC, Allen, and how many can really think about a dog pile in Omaha in late June?
There's a few of them, man. And the problem is this, is that these teams, they played each other, and they're seemingly going to be the ones that can take each other out, right? Like, look, you look at the SEC. Georgia, they could win a national championship. Mississippi State could win a national championship. Texas could win a national championship. And those are just those three right there. And we could keep going down the list. It's going to depend on, regional seedings and the top 16 seeds and who gets there, hosting the super regional. We all know all that. But the SEC, look at multiple teams are going to be causing problems. And a lot of these, there's going to be teams that aren't hosting regionals that are going to win someone else's regional. Keep an eye on that.
Really good point. That somebody could be somebody like Oklahoma, maybe even if Kentucky, if they squeeze into the tournament. But keep on this. I've warned about it for a couple weeks. I'm impressed with Georgia, everything they're doing, how they hit the ball. But when they get to Omaha and all those home runs in that little bitty ballpark in Athens, if they get to Omaha and those guys are the first couple at bats and it's warning track outs, that can get in your head.
Oh, buddy, we saw it 4 or 5 years ago with Tony Vitello in Tennessee. Arguably the best Tennessee teams he had.
No doubt.
Couldn't get through because they were so dependent on the home run, and it finally took a team that had base hits, extra base hits to do it. You're exactly right, because that park is huge. The wind is generally not blowing in your favor. It's blowing in, which is going to help the pitchers as well. Look, it's old school baseball. You're exactly right. You get the super regionals, even regionals, but you get the super regionals in Omaha, buddy, you better have some hosses, 1, 2, 3 in your starting lineup, and you better have a bullpen, too, because pitching, that's what's going to dictate.
Here's another thing that gets to SEC teams that say have to go out on the road next week. For the last, 10 weekends, they've been playing in mostly great ballparks. They're going to go to some little bitty bandboxes that you might dress in the gym and walk over to the Diamond.
Oh, it's going to be all over the place. And that's what I do love about college baseball is that if you, host a regional and you like, how your home stadium configuration is, i.e. at Georgia, short porch, you can hit a lot of home runs. Buddy, it works for you, right? So I do love that comes into play. If they ever start going full corporate, like, put all the games in Atlanta for regionals, like, oh, you'll kill me. Don't do it. I'm just excited. I love it. Yeah.
I wanted to keep. I want to keep that patina of it, and I even like it when the SEC might go to 2,500 seat stadium. That the press box might be the top row of the stands.
Oh, 100%, man. And I'll tell you this, it's going to be exciting when these SEC teams we're talking about go up against the UCLA, Georgia Tech, and North Carolina, because these three teams aren't playing with anybody either. This is going to be an awesome college baseball postseason. All 64 teams. It's going to be a really fun race.
Bryant and Connor play baseball all their life. You played baseball all your life, Alan. We all know this. Baseball can be a really weird sport. A guy can just tattoo one in the center fielder, doesn't move an inch and a half to catch it. Then a bleeder off your knuckles, and it busts open a big inning. You said it so right about Tennessee. Vitello, he won it all, but he didn't win it with his best team. Mike Bianco won it a few years ago. I don't think he won it with his best team he's had at Ole Miss, and I think the same could be said about Mississippi State. And then there's Dave Van Horn that has had all these great teams, probably better than some of those that won it, and he hadn't gotten his first.
Right? Like, we have all of that going in. And look out for exactly that. Ole Miss, Auburn, they're going to be hosting regionals. They're going to be the SEC is so loaded, which they are. These teams can come up and take out all those conferences, big hitters. Oh, my goodness. We're going to have a lot of fun.
Yeah. Alan, we're having some trouble with our connection here. I'm going to put you on hold. We're going to see if Connor can get connection back with you. I know weather is an issue up there in Nashville. But
yeah, we want to hear about the party since the Super Bowl was announced from him.
No kidding. Definitely still partying up there and will be until the Super Bowl is wrapped up. But
sounded like Alan had his blender ready making margaritas.
It did. It sounded like he was in the middle of a party there. Speaking of college baseball, I saw this, or I think Connor sent it to me, that in the Sun Belt tournament. So the Sun Belt tournament is being played in Montgomery, Alabama, but because of weather, Coastal Carolina is driving to Troy to face Louisiana for an 8 p.m. Eastern time first pitch tonight. I guess because of the conditions, or maybe because they have to play multiple games at the same time, they're moving a game to Troy to get it played. So
they're having to do what they're having to do, and Alan's dealing with it too. He's trying to reconnect with us, and I don't think he can. We appreciate him trying. It's been that bad, really everywhere. We got him back.
Yeah, we got him back. I think we got him back again.
Hey, Alan, we're sorry.
Oh, no, hey, can you hear me guys okay?
Yeah,
we got
you better now. We got you a lot better now. We were just talking while you were gone about the Nashville officially getting the Super Bowl. What has that been like earlier this week?
Man, I'll tell you what I love about it is that it's a celebration for the state of Tennessee, right? Like, the stadium is in Nashville, but this is about the state of Tennessee, man. Everyone in Memphis to Nashville, to Knoxville, Chattanooga, all in between. Every Titans fans. And just sports fans, who would have ever thought that the state was going to get a Super Bowl, man? Like, it's just so cool to see. And I'm just excited. And Titans fans all over the state, all over the Southeast, should take a moment and be proud, man, to see, like, how much the state has grown and how much the team has grown. It's just awesome to see, man. I love the celebration.
Yeah. Alan, how old were you when the Titans played their first season in Nashville?
Was that 1998?
98 at Vandy, 99 at the new stadium.
I was 14.
Well, you've seen the full metamorphosis then. I mean, that moment of we're getting an NFL team, we're building a stadium, we're going to the Super Bowl, to now you're hosting a Super Bowl.
It's wild. And the city, the growth around it, just to see, the Nashville Predators came in at the exact same time, right? And just the growth of just the state, man, to see the Memphis Grizzlies, an NBA team. Like, who would have thought 30 years ago that the state would have these many pro teams? It's just cool to see, man.
Yeah, no, it definitely is. Well, Alan, as always, thanks so much for joining us, and enjoy the weekend. Hopefully better weather on the horizon, even though it looks like a lot of rain everywhere in the forecast. But enjoy the weekend, and we'll talk to you again next Friday.
Looking forward to that. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Alan.
Thank you, Alan. And I can remember in the early 80s, and when everybody, Bryant, was trying to host one of these preseason games, and we just had run after run after run of them. Mm-hmm. And then after we got the USFL, it kind of stopped. The NFL, they took that as a real affront. There was an NFL preseason game. I want to say the Vikings were one side of it, but it didn't matter. At Neyland.
Oh, wow.
They played a preseason game in the early 80s in Knoxville.
How about that? That's good stuff. Yeah, I mean, hey,
just trying to get a team to this area, and Bud Adams, he gave us the business.
Yeah, no, he definitely did. So but cool to see Nashville getting the Super Bowl, and definitely an all-out party up there. But let's go ahead and get to another break. When we return, we've got to talk some baseball, Major League Baseball, college baseball, a lot of baseball action across the country. We'll talk about it more next on Sports Time.
Did you miss your favorite Sports 56 show? No! Check out the podcast, broken down hourly at sports56whbq.com or wherever you get your podcasts. Be sure to like and subscribe. Never miss any Sports 56 show again with our podcasts available daily from Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Looking for sports in all the wrong places? Try the Owner's Box Sports Bar and Grill in Lakeland's Town Square. Fun, exciting, friendly, and comfortable with wall-to-wall TVs. 24 taps for all your beers, including $3 domestic and $5 craft pints on Mondays. Monday through Friday, 3 to 6 happy hour. Music bingo Tuesdays. Daily specials and online ordering. The Owner's Box Sports Bar and Grill in Lakeland's Town Square. Highway 70. Check Facebook for daily specials and weekend music at the Owner's Box.
Listen up, Rebel fans. Your next winning drive starts at Landers Ford in Collierville. Their game plan is simple. Find you the most savings possible. Make a trade, lower your payments, or let them buy your vehicle even if you don't buy from them. That's how you keep moving the chains. Just like the Grove on game day. Fans all across the Mid-South keep coming back to the #1 Ford dealership in Greater Memphis. See them today in Collierville or online at LandersFordMemphis.com. When you own a Landers Ford, you get the support of a certified service tech with the Landers Ford Remote Service Experience Program. They pick it up, drop it off, or fix it on the spot, so you're never left watching from the sidelines. To finish the drive, the iconic Landers Easy Pass always brings more for your trade and the biggest discounts to put you in victory formation. And now, straight from the 1977 Ole Miss football team that took down #1 ranked Notre Dame, the final snap of the day from Landers Ford President Don Kitchens.
If it doesn't say Landers, you paid too much.
As reported on Ford's 2024 Total New Vehicle Retail Sales Report, Memphis Market.
Too many families face a widening gap between what they can afford and what they need to thrive. More than half of families in the U.S. today are one paycheck away from financial crisis. At Good 360, we deliver hope when families need it most, providing essentials like clothing, hygiene items, and household goods. Put help within reach. Learn more at good360.org.
It's golf time. What's my first thought? Miramichi. Of course, Miramichi. Sometimes you need just to escape the hustle and bustle of life, and that's exactly what Miramichi will provide. It means the place of happy retreat, and I promise you, it lives up to its name. While it might not be in the heart of Shelby County, it's certainly worth the drive. It's 25 minutes from my driveway in East Memphis. Once you arrive at the front door, you know you're going to get an experience unlike any other public golf course in town. Let's start with practice practice facilities. Not all are created equal, and you will find none better than those at Miramichi. The range is an impressive 12-acre space. It allows you to spread out and practice for those long drives. They got a great short game place. They've got a chipping green. They've got a putting green. They're beyond compare. You want to get better? You go to Miramichi. You want a great competitive golf course? You go to Miramichi. It's worth the drive. I love it. Miramichi.
Hey, Mid-South, you ready for love at first drive? We got it covered with the main man Marshall at Gossett Hyundai on the Pike.
That's right, Randy. Check this out. Brand new 2026 Hyundai Tucson SE. 33 miles per gallon. We got it at $216.40 a month. That's just over $7 a day. Or the all-new 2026 Hyundai Elantra SE. $203.21 a month. That's less than $7 a day for your brand new ride.
That's amazing. And if you're into technology, you got to check out Palisade.
Get your tech on in 2026 Hyundai Palisade SEL for only $215.62 a month, Randy.
And every Gossett Hyundai's got owner assurance with America's best 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty.
Come see me, the main man Marshall, where we're charging forward and charging less at Gossett Hyundai, 1956 Covenant Pike, or visit online at HyundaiGossett.com 24/7.
Elantra TU 188,709, MSRP 24,565, Palisade TU 096,984, MSRP 45,075, Tucson TH 69,7020, MSRP 31,805, includes all rebates and incentives, PF 895, excludes tax on license with approved credit. CD list for details off the end of the month.
Now back to Sports Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by Lexus of Memphis. Here are your hosts, Brett Stats Norsworthy and Bryant Dacus.
Welcome back into Sports Time. Bryant and Brett with you, and we got to talk some baseball, as a lot of baseball action across the country. We talked a little bit about the college baseball side of things with Allen, as the SEC going to try to get their 2 games in today at some point. Last time I checked, they're hoping to start the first game around 4:30, but weather is certainly a factor right now. But over Major League Baseball, Cardinals already postponed tonight. They'll make up that game tomorrow, a doubleheader between the Cardinals and the Reds tomorrow. One game going on right now, the Astros and the Cubs. The Stros up 4-2 in Wrigley.
You streaming it?
Bottom of the 8th. I am not streaming it right now. I've not watched any of that game actually today, but Astros.
It's on the Apple, isn't it?
That's right. Yeah, that is the Apple game today. I think, is that one of 2 or one of 3 Apple games today?
Cardinals were scheduled to be, weren't they?
Okay, so it was going to be one of 3 on. It looks like Tigers Orioles also going to be on Apple later tonight. So yeah, the Friday Apple games. That's what we're now in year 3 of that. And you know, it's been fine. But yeah,
and some early Sunday morning games.
Yeah. Are those on Apple too?
Are they?
I don't know.
It's a streamer out there doing
Is it? I think that's that might be Peacock. I don't.
Okay.
I don't know. I'm not. Yeah, Peacock for those early games. So yeah, a couple of streamers getting involved with Major League Baseball, and who knows, maybe more to come. Especially in the future of Major League Baseball, we know how much of a factor Prime is trying to get in sports streaming. So yeah, definitely they're trying to make a name for themselves in Major League Baseball.
Got a lot of passwords to remember.
Yeah, no, that's right. That's a lucky thing about the smartphones. They'll just remember your password for you. You know, you don't gotta do the work of remembering.
It will?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Yeah. No, I don't remember any of my passwords. I mean, I couldn't.
I'm back to wrestling with my World Cup ticket.
What do you mean?
It's there. I've got to now get it. It's there to get it.
But you haven't. Can you not get it, or you just haven't gotten it yet?
I hadn't tried.
Okay.
It's a whole new set of logging in.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I thought you were past your problems with the World Cup tickets. Unfortunately, it does not seem like you are. But some good matchups this weekend across Major League Baseball. You look at Dodgers Brewers could be a really fun series. Brewers 29-18. We know what the Dodgers are doing, 31-19 right now. Athletics Padres could be a fun one late into the night, as we've talked a lot about the Athletics leading that division. Padres putting together a good start to the season. And for the Yankees tonight, Garrett Cole making his first start of the season as he's coming back from injury. Yeah,
who doesn't?
I mean, he's a great pitcher. Every team would love to have him, and we'll see what he looks like tonight against this red-hot Rays team at home.
Five up the Rays in the loss column over the big bad Yankees.
Yeah, that is it's impressive. I mean, it really is impressive what they've done this season. Really fun team to watch, and we'll see if Garrett Cole looks a little rusty, if he comes out sharp. I think a lot of eyes going to be on that game tonight.
Let's go all the way to October. They're going the Yankees buy being in October baseball, but they get knocked out. They don't win it. Aaron Boone, can he survive yet again?
I mean, I think I have to say yes. It feels like every year we ask that question and he survives.
Yeah, you're right. Yes is the answer for a couple reasons. He has survived, and who wants to make any changes, especially with what looks like's looming next year with work stoppage?
Yeah, no, that's a good point. I think it's a lot of things are going to look different late in the season. Early in the off season, some things that probably would get done, you're going to see them, see that not happen. It's going to be weird.
Very Southwest Conference field today in Hoover, isn't it? With Texas and Arkansas in one game and A&M against Auburn in the other one.
Yeah, very much so. So hopefully they can get those games in. Might be a late night in Hoover. Yesterday was really the first day that it kind of hit me about the fact that single elimination, very different tournament. Only 2 games yesterday, only 2 games today. I mean, I went looking for a game yesterday morning at like 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock. Oh, wonder what SEC game's on right now. Nothing. Then later last night, like 9, 10 o'clock at night, I went looking for a game. Okay, what's the late night game in the SEC? Nothing. They were already done. So
they could peel
weird.
back Tuesday. They could cut out to where everybody doesn't go.
Yeah, I mean they could. If they do that, I would like them to go back to double elimination. And just not invite everybody and get back to double. Because single elimination, ooh. But I guess the argument for the SEC is, most of those teams, they've already got a spot in the NCAA tournament. What do they really need double elimination for?
I guess a couple could improve resumes.
Yeah, I mean, definitely could. I think if you're going to invite everyone, I guess you have to do single elimination. If you don't invite everybody, I would like them to go back to double elimination and get more games down there in Hoover and, like you said, more opportunity to improve.
The Tigers have lost already today, but play again tonight.
Yep, so they lost to UTSA earlier today. They'll play the last game tonight against Wichita State. So we'll see if
what has happened to and I think I probably know the answer, to Tulane and Rice.
Rice, it's kind of been going in this direction for a couple of seasons now. But Tulane was a surprise. I think a lot of people were liked what they did in the offseason, the guys they brought in, and just didn't really click this year. It was weird, and those Tulane fans are not happy because they've kind of gotten used to Tulane being year in, year out that dominant team in the conference, and not the case this year. So it's been really weird.
It's hard. It's shocking to see.
Yeah, no, it definitely is. And, a lot of people upset and wanting answers of what happened with the Green Wave. But let's go ahead and get to another break, wrap up this first hour. When we return, we're talking some more wagering. Bruce Marshall, he joins us next.
Broadcasting from the Family Leisure Studio, we are Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
NST's been taking down insurance giants for over 35 years. Big firm power with hometown heart? Yeah, they don't play. It's that combination that has helped them win billions for their clients. NST is the way to go. Call 683-7000.
Volkswagen Driver Days is on at Gossett Volkswagen on the Pike, and it's drivers wanted. If you're looking for sporty, we Gossett 2026 Jetta S, just $249 a month, $249 a month for Jetta S. How about 2025 Tiguan S, $269 a month? Yes, brand new Tiguan S, $269 a month. And Gossett Volkswagen on the Pike wants to get you vacation ready in 2026 Atlas SE, $329 a month. That's only $329 a month for a brand new Atlas SE. If you're ready for a new ride, we got you covered at Gossett Volkswagen on the Pike. So get to Gossett Volkswagen today at 1875 Covington Pike. Online, GossettVWMemphis.com.
If you want it, we got it at Gossett Motor Cars.
Atlas TC 564,681, MSRP 41,911, Jetta TMO 312,217, MSRP 25,791, Tiguan TMO 43,763, MSRP 32,881. Includes all rebates and incentives. Must be financed through Volkswagen Credit PF 895. Excludes tax title and license with approved credit. See dealer for complete details. Offer in 6/126. Dealer stock only.
Hi, this is Troy Fiveash, owner of Fiveash Roof Services. Do you know what Penny Hardaway and I have in common? We should both be in that building celebrating the best basketball players of all time. Of course, I'll have to buy a ticket to get in, but he should already be there. But seriously, we both surround ourselves with the best people we can find. We work hard to achieve our goals, and we are both among the best in our respective fields. At 5 we can't win titles or get national awards, but what we can and do strive to do is give 100% of ourselves to give you the best product possible and one you can be proud of. So if you need a roof, siding, or gutters, give us a call at 901-367-0050, and we will do everything we can to provide you the best of everything. 5 Roofing. Fair, honest, and ethical. 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com. 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com.
5 Roofing, it's what we do. We're here for you.
Everybody in Memphis knows by now that Sunrise on Jefferson and Sunrise on Poplar are the places to go for a great breakfast or lunch. But what you may not know is that Sunrise is partnered with Across-the-Board Catering to provide their delicious food for events ranging from work lunches to birthday parties to tailgates and any other time people want to eat some Sunrise tastiness somewhere other than a Sunrise location. Don't make your friends, coworkers, or virtual strangers you've been tasked with feeding suffer by giving them some cold box lunch when you can give them Sunrise.
All 650 acquisition fee, 26 Kia Sorento LX, TG 453 494, MSRP 34280, hybrid D 727 1780, MSRP 31865, K4T 3300941, MSRP 24825, Telluride VG 0052888, MSRP 44510, includes all rebates and incentives, must finance through KFA, excludes tax title license with approved credit dealer stock only. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through 6/1/2026.
Hey, Jeff Allen, I hear you've got the summer sticker sales event on now at Gossett Kia South Mount Moriah. What's the scoop, Jeff?
The scoop is take your pick, 2026 Kia Sorento LX or a 2026 Kia Sportage Hybrid LX, $297 a month. 2026 Kia K4 LXS, $219 per month. And a 2027 Kia Telluride S, $449 per month. All 24-month lease and $39.99 due at signing.
Plus, you've got the 2026 EV9, $12,000 off MSRP or 0% for 60 months available, and they're all equipped with Kia's 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty.
So whether you live in Horn Lake, South Haven, Olive Branch, or Memphis, you'll be happy at Gossett Kia on Mount Moriah.
Listen each and every Sunday morning at 10 a.m. and join Ottawild Presbyterian Church for worship. Ottawild is a PCUSA church located in Midtown Memphis.
Sports 56 traffic.
Good afternoon. A lot more volume in the last few minutes trying to get through Midtown, especially I-40 here around Chelsea going south of Memphis. That's building pretty good here in the last few minutes. Southbound 55 pushing down into DeSoto County. Steady flow of traffic right now going outbound here on 40 East from Sycamore View Road all the way out to Germantown Parkway, continuing out towards Fayette County. Hey, don't let a slipping transmission make things worse on your car or truck. Having transmission problems, bring your vehicle, let them check it out at Amco Transmissions. With 2 locations right here in Memphis, tell them I sent you. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
We are Sports 56, WHBQ Memphis, and W253DF Memphis with Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy. Weekday mornings from 7 to 10. Now back to Sports Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour brought to you by Landers Ford in Collierville. Here once again are Brett Norsworthy and Bryant Dacus.
When you hear the sound coming.
Welcome back into Sports Time. Bryant and Brett with you as we start our second hour on this Friday afternoon. We got to talk some more wagering, and we do it at this time every single Friday afternoon with Bruce Marshall.
Joining the guys every Friday is college football historian and Vegas legend Bruce Marshall from Vegas Insiders, CBS Sports, and his own website, bamsports.net. With over 30 years on Memphis radio, with handicapping and sports talk, here's Bruce Marshall with Bryant and Brett.
Bruce Marshall joins us now to talk all things wagering. But when Bruce joins us, we talk a lot more than just wagering. Bruce, thanks so much for joining us. I want to start with a topic that we've talked about a lot over the last month or so. Brendan Sorsby and his situation at Texas Tech. They're trying to expedite this, get an official ruling, see where things stand to see if he needs to go ahead and enter the supplemental draft for the NFL or if he will be able to play at some point this year for Texas Tech. But some of the quotes that came out, we were talking about them earlier this week, but the one that everyone has been talking about, Brendan Sorsby saying that him betting on Indiana while he was a part of the Indiana football team was him trying to feel closer, feel more involved with the team by placing bets on them. A terrible argument, but how fast do you think this process will last, and where do you think he's standing right now?
Yeah, that's a pretty interesting argument that Sorsby made. By the way, it's the first for Sportstime on WHBQ. I'm in Florida now, and I'm walking along the Lake Apopka Trail with my granddaughter and her dog.
Wow.
Very nice. How great is that?
That's where I am right now. Sorsby, I can't see why he would want to return to college right now. Related news, Texas Tech this week. The backup quarterback, Will Hammond, who was not that bad last year when he came in and had to play, he got injured, and then he was knocked out last year. He's apparently been given the go-ahead, and he will be ready to go in the fall. So I don't know that Texas Tech's going to be that, that will be that short change as long as Hammond doesn't get hurt. He looked good while he was in there last year. Sorsby, I don't know. He'll probably throw his name in the supplemental. That's my guess. And somebody will take a chance on him. I don't know if he's that good. It was at Indiana. He really wasn't. Now that was pre Signetti. The Cincinnati, part, okay. But I think that's probably where he goes. But I kind of think this story, the flash of this story was just the gaming part of it. And eventually it's going to kind of fizzle out because I don't know that Sorsby is that important of a player long run. The story is kind of a nice flash thing right now, but I kind of think this will fade into the background as we get toward into the summer.
Bruce, it's almost like Cody Campbell. I mean, we could almost rename it Cody Campbell Tech. I mean, he's almost official spokesperson. He certainly is the money person. He's the most famous alum out there right now writing NIL checks for every single sport. He wants to be good. If in the Steve Sarkisian world, if they had a badminton team, he'd want to be good at it. And he's the one that answers Steve Sarkisian's volley at Texas Tech this week.
Yeah, and you're right. I mean, Campbell is he is Mr. Texas Tech now, and I think I brought this up a couple of weeks ago on the show. The analogy I would worry about Texas Tech is at some point Campbell might decide he's not, that interested anymore, and why am I throwing all this money at Texas Tech? The analogy was Oklahoma State with T. Boone Pickens. Now, he passed away, but they have had a lot of trouble replacing that money he was pumping into the program, even if his trust might have still given some money. I'm not sure about all that, but I mean, post Pickens, they've had trouble. That's going to be the same thing at Texas Tech. How, they are sort of a threat. They're not in the same league as Texas. They still, Texas Tech will think it can compete at that level. I go back, you guys might know Norm Hitchcock. I know you do, Brett.
Oh, yeah, in Dallas.
I used to do his show, back in the 80s.
Wow.
And we're talking, Texas Tech back then, and he had a great quote to me. Way back then, he said, Bruce, he said, I'll tell you what, kids don't grow up down here dreaming about playing for Texas Tech. Now, that's a hurdle that all of Campbell's dollars, are going to have a tough time overcoming. They can get pretty good like they did last year, but you got to keep pumping that money in there every year. At some point, he's going to get tired. Texas has a much broader base, and, I can see where Texas Tech's a little bit of an antagonist now to some of the big boys, but long term, their relevance lasts as long as Campbell's interested. That's the bottom line, I think.
Bruce, in the 80s, Norm Hitzkus was the king of Dallas sports talk radio, wasn't he?
Yes, he was.
It wasn't anybody touching him. Now in the 80s, didn't Texas Tech lose a coach to Texas, David McWilliams?
Yeah, I mean, they had, they did. In fact, they had Jerry Moore for a while as a coach.
Lost Rex Dockery to Memphis. Second Rex Dockery mentioned today, Brian.
It is, wow.
Yes, right before Rex, passed away, unfortunately, and the crash. But They were. Norm used to be, there's a great thing, a predecessor of all the regional TV networks. They used to have one in Texas, in Dallas in particular, HSE, Home Sports Entertainment, and they did a great job with the old Southwest Conference, and every week Norm would tell me which game he was assigned to. He said, yeah, I'm doing Rice TCU this week, and I thought it was the coolest thing because back then, it was still kind of new. But I haven't talked to Norm, he's still around, I think, but he was the king of Dallas sports talk, yes.
He sure was. Yeah, David McWilliams was at Texas Tech, and then I think his alma mater was Texas, and then he went there. Bruce, since you mentioned Oklahoma State, perfect segue. There's a Twitter site, Message Board Geniuses, and I sometimes dip in there, and it's some wild stuff pulled straight from message boards. I've never been to a message board, but I've been to Message Board Geniuses, and today they had the 10 most tortured fan bases currently in college football. Number 1, Nebraska. Number 2, Florida State. 3, Texas A&M. 4, Tennessee. 5, South Carolina. 6, Michigan State. 7, Virginia Tech. 8, NC State. 9, Oklahoma State. 10, Oregon State. Bruce, if you're Nebraska, Florida State, and Tennessee, you have not been tortured. You've won a national championship in my lifetime.
Right. That's different from the Oklahoma States and them. And by the way, I mean UCLA belongs in there too.
They do.
Way above Oregon, and much more relevant program than Oregon State, and they have been tortured. And they might be ready to turn it around with their new coach. But what it does point out, at least the case of Nebraska, and I just wonder how much more rope. But as far as fan unrest, Matt Rule's got to make some progress there. They thought he would be the guy to get them to compete in the Big Ten, and they've been just sort of treading water.
But we said that about Scott Frost.
And Scott Frost did not make it happen at all, and they moved him out. So I think that the torture thing's is a little different definition maybe with Nebraska. Unrest, I think, is there. I'll tell you, you mentioned one other one in there, Brett, and I guess Oklahoma State too, although it wasn't that long ago. They were very competitive with Gundy. Michigan State has really, really dropped off with Jonathan Smith, and they pushed him out. And this all happened after D'Antonio left, and then the whole Mel Tucker thing blew up. They have made, I think, one of the more interesting hires with Pat Fitzgerald coming over from Northwestern. There's a lot of people in the Big Ten are wondering about this because, when Fitzgerald had his fans there, but the way that unraveled at Northwestern was not good. And he had some bad teams at Northwestern, too, some really bad ones, including his last one there. So Michigan State is an interesting addition to that list. Remember, D'Antonio was there. They were, competing.
College football playoff. Yeah.
They had the playoff that year, and then when Alabama beat them, but Rose Bowl a couple times. So, but tortured fan bases or unrest fan bases, I think Nebraska would be really close.
And my next comment is pretty much a cheap shot, but it's true. South Carolina, you hadn't been tortured. Nobody cares about you.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, if you're a Gamecock fan, maybe, but you haven't really tasted anything ever. It's different. I mean, Tennessee, it's different. I mean, even Tennessee is 2 years removed from being in the playoff, 2024. So I hardly think they're a tortured fan base, and their fans can still remember winning a national title that year at T. Martin, and they've been good for a long time. That's where, I wouldn't even put Tennessee and Nebraska in there because Tennessee's been pretty good for a while, and Nebraska hasn't. So we can pick that list. We can pick through that list if we want, but I'm not sure Tennessee belongs up there at the top either. Their fans are rabid, but that's a difference from being tortured, and I don't think Tennessee fans are that, at least not yet.
Yeah, definitely right about that. Speaking of teams in the SEC meetings happening next week in Destin. Obviously, the SEC is talking a lot. They've got a lot of thoughts on things. They are different, or at least their commissioner is different in terms of what he wants for the college football playoff. What do you think those conversations will be like this week, and what, if anything, do we hear from them?
Well, I wonder. Now, if I'm not mistaken, Sankey still would be okay going to 16, but he's reluctant to endorse 24. I think he wants to kind of gauge the way the rest of the league feels about it, if he doesn't know already. But I think Tony Petitti from the Big Ten is sort of okay to push this thing up to 24, and then it's going to get to 28 at some point. If Sankey is indeed has that mindset, to me, that's a very provincial and protectionist sort of mindset, and it sort of equates like, listen, when you're a kid and you have a certain nice toy, you want to be the only one of your friends with it. And when one of your friends gets that toy, you're like, I thought I was the only one who had that toy. Or adults, this guy's got a really nice car. He likes to be the only one with that fancy one, and then here comes his best friend getting a Cadillac Escalade or something like that. I almost equate that to the way Sankey thinks. He's obviously protecting the SEC's interest, and an expanded tournament may well reward more SEC teams. However, it will reward other teams and others who aren't in that position to do so right now. And I think my gut feel, my read on Sankey is that's what he's more concerned about. And that's sort of short-sighted. And if that is the case, I would agree with Petitti's thought of expanding this thing further. But all the commissioner things, I'm sure Brett Yormark is for the Big 12. He's like my favorite commissioner of the bunch. And I think I've mentioned this to you guys before because I like the fact he comes from outside of academia. So does Petitti from the Big 10. So I think they tend to look at the marketplace a little bit different than a guy like Sankey, who came up through academia, and they sort of reward obedience like government jobs do. I don't think he's quite the big picture the way the other guys do. We'll see. Yeah. But it's going to expand. I'm just not sure how much and how fast.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting for sure. Talking to Bruce Marshall. He joins us every Friday, talk a little bit of everything, but we do talk a lot of wagering with him. We've got the conference finals going on in the NBA. Last night we saw the Knicks get another win over Cleveland. I do want to talk about tonight's game, but what have you thought about the first two games of this Knicks and Cavs series?
Well, I mean, the Cavs had their chance in Game 1. Great chance to steal one. And they aren't going to get that back. And I think that's going to be now, I don't know that Cleveland can push this past 5. It may even get swept. They got to hold fort at home in Game 3. Now, they were down 2-0 against Detroit and came back. But the Knicks are a little bit different animal here. And that Game 1 thing is going to linger. They played about 40 minutes of perfect basketball. They really did. And getting up 22, and then it all stopped. And Kenny Atkinson not using his timeouts is almost unforgivable. But you could tell there was sort of a letdown that carried over into Game 2. And I will say this about Mike Brown. He is making some really deft adjustments. He did back in the Atlanta series. Man, they were in a little trouble against Atlanta at the start. And he made a subtle tweak in his offense. He started to run it more through Cat instead of always Brunson. And all of a sudden, the floor opened up and guys were scoring, and they blew out the Hawks, and this run has continued. Well, in the fourth quarter of Game 1 of this series, he went back to the Brunson strategy. It was kind of desperate. He said, we're going to go after James Harden, Jalen take over, and he did. And Cleveland then made some adjustments in overtime, and Brunson turned into a facilitator. And Knicks ended up winning a dramatic comeback. Game 2, I think Brown correctly realized that they're going to gang up on Brunson. What can I do? Well, he became a facilitator deluxe in Game 2. All those assists. Josh Hart scored 26, and this is, I think, Brown is checkmating Kenny Atkinson thus far, and the Knicks defense too in the fourth quarter really great in Game 1 and last night too. I think Cleveland's in trouble. Maybe they get Game 3. This is it though. I mean, that's their last chance. But their chances to win the series went away when they lost Game 1. And I think there's one other thing to consider, that rest versus rust. These teams with a long rest, they are a little bit vulnerable. In Game 1, we saw that in the NHL last night with Carolina, flat as a pancake, 11 days off, and Montreal went down to Raleigh and beat them. The Knicks were vulnerable for that, and they should have lost Game 1. And Cleveland will regret blowing that lead in the fourth quarter.
Bruce, you or Brian as well, both y'all jump in on this. With what Victor Wembanyama's doing and the wave of other players, you got Gobert as well, could France contend for a gold medal in Los Angeles in 28?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, oh, yeah, sure. I mean, I think they they were competing in Paris 2 years ago. I mean, I think that was the final, if I'm not mistaken, and it was pretty competitive. So, yes, they could. Wembley's only going to get better. I mean,
Mike Rowan, though, the inch or two.
Yeah, I mean, he's the future here, and as far as that one goes, I give Oak City, I give Daniel credit for making the adjustment on Wemby the other night and putting Hartenstein on him, but that seems like a short-term fix. I think Hartenstein's going to be very hard-pressed to keep Wemby somewhat in check as the season progresses, as the series progresses. He is transformational, Wemby, and I think Oak City's got its hands full.
Mm-hmm. Well, speaking of that game tonight, San Antonio 1.5-point favorite. The total 218.5. What do you like in this game?
My only concern here is with the injury factor. It looks like Fox probably isn't going to play, and Dylan Harper is maybe not him either. He could be a game-time decision. Jalen Williams hurting the other way. So there's some guys out. The problems with San Antonio is the ball-handling chores. Now, if they're down as Castle, as good as he's been in this series, he's also been bad with the turnovers, too many giveaways. So Mitch Johnson may have to go to some lesser-used guys like McLaughlin or others to handle the ball and try to cut down those turnovers. But the Wemby factor, he is so distorting on the floor. And you can see Oklahoma City's trying everything it can. They're just digging into the wall. If they win this series, I think it's going to be in 7. Mm-hmm. They lost both. They're going to have to win once in San Antonio. They lost both games by double digits down there this season. And Wemby's just distorting impact is something else. Also, overs have been happening for these teams. They needed double overtime in Game 1 to get over. They did it pretty easily in Game 2. It's just the pace of the games and the way Oklahoma City shares the ball and all that. They're a very efficient offense. So is San Antonio, even if they're down a couple guys. Overs have been great since the second round began. In fact, last night's under in Cleveland, New York, was the first one, in the playoffs in almost 2 weeks. So it's, I think, 18-8 for the over since the second round started. Keep that in mind tonight, too, but I think I'm going to take the Spurs in Game 3. And let's see if Oklahoma City can win a game down in San Antonio. I'm not sure they can.
Yeah.
And Bruce, you've been hot at Wager Talk. It shows just how scorching you've been the last 30 days.
It's been a good 30 days, but I just write, baseball, you ride a few teams. NBA, you find some of these trends like this total trend. I've had a lot of overs. It didn't work last night with Cleveland, but sometimes these things keep enduring. And the first round, you got to be the first round was an under first round. But at some point, the switch flips, and just have to kind of be ready to pounce on that when it's time.
Yeah. Major League Baseball this weekend. Anything that jumps out to you on the slate tonight?
Yeah, there's a great Tampa Bay and the Yankees are a great series. Tampa Bay sort of pulled clear in the East. These are both going to be playoff teams. It's just a matter of who's going to win the East, who's going to be the top wild card. 21-4 the last 25 games for Tampa Bay. They do everything right. Aggressive on the base paths, aggressive at the plate, great scoring with 2 outs. Nick Martinez on the mound tonight. He has been a great bargain. So they're an underdog tonight. But the story, of course, Garrett Cole makes his first MLB appearance since the 24 World Series after that Tommy John surgery. The Yankees are favored here, but to expect Cole to hit the ground running is asking much. Let's see somebody beat Tampa Bay before I pick against the Rays. So I'll take the Rays, and they're all excited down here because they got the new stadium getting ready to be built on the Tampa side of the bay, so that's good. Yeah. One other one tonight, out in the Bay Area, other Bay, San Francisco Bay, the White Sox come in. Davis Martin, we've talked about him before. The Sox have won 8 of his 9 starts. His ERA in 3 May starts is 0.95. The White Sox right now would be a playoff team in the American League, if you can believe that. The Giants are a big disappointment. Look at that offense. It is they've scored like 50 runs fewer than the next lowest team in the National League. It's a pathetic offense, just a little over 3 runs per game. They do like what they've seen from their rookie starter McDonald on the mound, but they just don't score enough runs. Davis Martin, my Cy Young long shot in the AL, and tonight a very short price favorite for the Chi Sox in San Francisco.
I like it.
Bruce talking about Norm Hitzkus. I can remember back in the day when to go to Dallas, when you'd get within range. I mean, trying to find him. And back in the day in Little Rock, you could buy the Dallas Morning News and the Dallas Times-Herald that was afternoon paper. You could buy it in Little Rock same day. And I would buy the Dallas Times-Herald just to read Blackie Sherrod's scatter shooting column.
Oh, yeah. They covered it so good in those days. And, there was, in the old days, the Gold Sheet we used to get, we would subscribe to the Sunday papers, and we'd have like 3 or 4 of them, but we wouldn't get them until like Wednesday. And Dallas, we'd get the AJC. In Atlanta, we'd get the Big Peach out of Des Moines. But Dallas had a great sports page there, and we used to love it.
Yeah.
And that scatter shooting column, he would always scatter shooting while wondering whatever happened to Gina Lollobrigida. Or something like that.
Boy, that's taking us back a ways.
Yeah, scatter shooting while wonders who's hotter, Ginger or Marianne, Tina Louise, or I don't even know the actress that played Marianne.
Broadwell's, there we go.
Oh, there you go. Wow, way to pull that one out. Well, Bruce, before we let you go, where can we find more of you?
Yeah, for me, nowadays, everything is under that wagertalk.com umbrella, and that's what Brett referred to, all the picks going really good there. Now, you can also find picks and parlays and winnersandwhiners.com there, and goldsheet.com, though we'll start populating that stuff in the summer on that site. But everything for me now is up under wagertalk.com.
I love it, Bruce. Enjoy your weekend. Enjoy Florida with the family, and we'll talk to you again next Friday.
Okay, enjoy the Memorial Day weekend, boys.
We will. Thank you, Bruce. Thank you so much.
Bruce Marshall joining us to talk a little bit of everything, but getting us some plays in there for the week and a couple of Major League Baseball plays. I like those. I already have my eyes on the White Sox. Brett, nothing better than when you start looking at a slate and you kind of say, I kind of like this game, and then either Alan or Bruce or the trifecta and both of them hop on that game. Oh, not a better feeling than one of those guys say, I like this play tonight.
We like to call it a Friday in-house lock.
Right. That's exactly what it is.
Wager Talk is great. Picks and Parlay is great. And Bruce is really scorching with everything, particularly in baseball. And what do you think is the hardest to bet on?
I would say baseball is pretty tough.
No doubt.
I would say probably the NFL, just because of everybody. I mean, any given week, and those lines are so sharp. Everybody's betting on it, so they have to place it so precise. So I'd probably say the NFL, but Major League Baseball is right up there because I mean, one crack of the bat can change everything.
What do you find that occasionally that they miss on? They just caught with old pants around the ankles occasionally.
I tell you what, and maybe it's just it's the nicheness of it. I tell you what, if you just pay attention to college baseball, if you can find lines out there, you can find some really good value on college baseball and really college basketball the same way. If you find some of these mid-major conferences and kind of lock in on those, I mean, not even really that much, just kind of pay attention to what's going on, you can find some good numbers out there because just not many people are betting on those games. And if you find a team, I know Alan always talks about, especially with baseball, just find one of those teams that you like to watch, start riding that team, and you'll kind of figure them out, figure out some other teams. It's kind of the same way with college baseball and college basketball.
Yeah, I'm not saying that I heard Bruce own with Norm Hitzkus in the 80s, but the first time I heard Bruce was late 80s, early 90s, late night with Ron Barr out of San Francisco on the West Coast, nationally syndicated show. Came in late, turned on the radio, getting in bed, and I heard this guy, and I thought, big, giant brain, and that was Bruce Marshall.
Yeah, and we get it every single Friday. We get a little bit of insight of that big old brain. He is a delight.
And it's fun. He was on our Sissy's Log Cabin guest line. Sissy's Log Cabin, the official jeweler of the hometown teams like the Tigers and the Grizzlies, and that great location for Sissy's at Poplar and Perkins at 4542 Poplar in Laurelwood, part of the fabric of the community, the Mid-South's largest selection of one-of-a-kind jewelry, engagement rings, necklaces, earrings, anything for that special moment. 9,000 square foot store in Laurelwood with expanded lines for Cartier, Rolex, diamonds, and so much more. Since 1970, with all the great locations across the Mid-South, Sissy's, they offer a selection of estate jewelry and fine gifts to go with all those beautiful diamonds. Official jeweler for the Memphis Grizzlies and at FedEx Forum with the floor seat lounge. Unsurpassed value, exceptional service, expansive selection, and an extraordinary shopping experience because life's too short for ordinary jewelry.
Well, it looks like they're going to be able to get out there and at least try to play some baseball in Hoover. Arkansas baseball posting an official start time at 4:32 for Arkansas and Texas. So that game, the first game for the day in Hoover, should get started here in just a couple minutes. We'll talk more about everything going on down in Hoover and the SEC at the start of our next hour, 5 o'clock with Pat Smith from Jocks. But right now we need to get to another break. When we return, talk some NBA. Last night, the Knicks win again tonight, Game 3 in the West. We'll discuss it next on Sports Time.
Join the voice of the Tigers, Dave Woloshin, for Wolo and Friends. Weekday mornings from 10 to 11 here on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
It's time to get your backyard ready for the ultimate pool party with a little help from Family Leisure. If you've been sitting on the fence about taking the plunge with a pool, now's the time to take the dive. You want an above-ground pool? Done. Starting at $39.99, and that's with installation. You want an in-ground pool? Take your pick. They start at under $50,000. Accessorize that pool with a patio furniture set starting at just $9.99. Outdoor sectionals, they start at $12.99. In fact, all in-stock patio furniture sets are priced to move. And with select patio furniture sets, you'll get a free umbrella and base. Okay, you aren't looking to get into a pool just yet? Family Leisure has hot tubs that start at just $34.99. Get in shape or stay in shape with a swim spa starting at $16,999. Get your backyard, front yard, side yard, whatever, ready for fun. Family Leisure, Whitten Road at I-40, where family and fun come together.
Chris Price here with Metro Builders. If you were anywhere in the Mid-South lately, you felt it. High winds, hail, and storms rolling through hard. And here's the truth. If your roof took a hit, you may not see it yet. Hail and wind damage shingles can compromise your roof, opening the door for water intrusion. And once it gets in, the damage spreads fast. Ceilings, walls, insulation, even mold. That's why the sooner we inspect, the less damage you risk. Right now, Metro Builders has teams all over Memphis performing free inspections, handling same-day repairs, and providing emergency water mitigation services if needed. We'll show you exactly what we see, document everything, and help you take action before a small problem becomes a big one. Don't wait until you see water inside. Call me. 901-375-1717. That's 901-375-1717, or book your inspection online at MetroBuildersMemphis.com. That's Metro Builders Memphis. We don't just build, we build world class.
I have solved one of life's great puzzles.
That seems really unlikely.
I have.
Okay, what puzzle?
What to give people as wedding presents when they're out of town.
It's not that big of a puzzle.
Oh, yeah, what would you do?
I would ship them some yummy Central Barbecue. So what were you going to say?
Ship them some yummy Central Barbecue? Because they have great packages.
Yeah, like the ribs pack, the pulled pork pack, even the combo pack.
This is all stuff that I was going to say.
I know. You're always going to go to the Central Barbecue well.
Paid advertisement for non-attorney spokesperson. Victory Legal Network is not a law firm. Cases may be referred to participating law firms. Compensation is not guaranteed.
Attention parents. Was your baby born premature and then given Similac or Enfamil brand formula in the hospital? Studies now show that premature infants given cow's milk-based baby formula face a much higher risk of developing necrotizing enterocolitis, or NEC. If you or your loved one had a premature baby and was given one of these baby formulas, you may qualify for significant compensation. Visit govictory33.com now to see if you qualify. A recent jury awarded $60 million in compensation to the family of a child who developed NEC. Families are now taking action. Visit govictory33.com now to see if you qualify for significant compensation. If your baby was given Similac or Enfamil and later diagnosed with NEC, you may qualify for significant compensation, but time is limited. Strict filing deadlines apply, and waiting could mean losing your opportunity for justice. Don't wait. Visit govictory33.com today to see if you qualify. That's govictory33.com.
Paid for by Victory Legal Network.
The summer sticker sales event is on at Gossett Kia on the Pike. Take your pick, 2026 Kia Sorento LX or 2026 Kia Sportage Hybrid LX, $297 a month. 2026 Kia K4 LXS, only $219 a month. 2027 Kia Telluride S, we Gossett, $449 a month. All 24-month lease and $39.99 to its signing. Plus, Gossett Kia on the Pike's got 2026 EV9 online. 12,000 off MSRP or 0% for 60 months available. And every Gossett Kia comes with Kia's 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty. Come see Bobby J and get your new Kia today at Gossett Kia. 1900 Covington Pike online. KiaCovingtonPike.com.
If you want it, we got it at Gossett Motor Cars.
All 650 acquisition fee, 26 Kia Sorento LX, TG 453 494, MSRP 34280, hybrid D 727 1780, MSRP 31865, K4T 3300941, MSRP 24825, Telluride VG 005 MSRP 44510, includes all rebates and incentives, must finance through KFA, excludes tax title license with approved credit, dealer stock only, see dealer for complete details, offer valid through 6/1/2026.
This traffic brought to you by Old Dominick Distillery. Come for the spirits, stay for the experience. Cheers to Memphis. Learn more at olddominick.com.
Sports 56 traffic.
Afternoon, it's busy and rainy, pretty much what to expect right now. Trying to sneak through Midtown on 240 South to South Parkway as that volume of traffic increases on the I-40 bridge, pushing over into Crittenden County, into West Memphis. Radar over there west of West Memphis this afternoon. It's been that way on and off, it seems like, since lunchtime today. They're on I-40 around 55. Hey, bridal season just around the corner. Shop local this weekend. Save a ton of money. You always save money at Weimer's Jewelry by going there first. 7525 Highway 64. I'm Commander Chuck. You're on time traffic.
Now back to Sports Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour brought to you by Landers Ford in Collierville. Here once again are Brett Norsworthy and Bryant Dacus.
Welcome back into Sports Time. Bryant and Brett with you. We got to talk the NBA playoffs, as last night it was another win for the New York Knicks over the Cleveland Cavaliers. 2-0 lead now as they will travel to Cleveland for games 3 and 4. Tonight, game 3 in the West, Thunder and Spurs in San Antonio. We'll talk about that game in a second. But last night, Knicks 109-93. The Knicks able to pull away in the third quarter. 32-21 the score in that fourth quarter, or in that third quarter. Able to use that in a late second half surge to really get out in front and never really look back. I still think Cavaliers can win a game at home, but it feels like the Knicks are going to make this look pretty easy.
Do we have a series still going when we get back Tuesday?
Oh, so
Knicks and Cavs. That would be a sweep.
Yeah. I think we have.
Okay.
I think they win one at home. I'm gonna give them one at home, and then I think that's probably about all they get. Is just the one at home.
Which one? 3 or 4?
I think probably 3.
Better take 3 or it won't be.
Yeah. I mean,
get the brooms out.
Yeah, you get down 3-0. It feels really
check
tough.
Out time.
Yeah, it feels like it would be rough to try to come back from that. But yeah, I think they can maybe get the game tomorrow night, make it 2-1, and then see what happens after that. But this Cavs team's been super hot at home. They've been really, really good. And the only game they've lost was that Game 6 where Detroit made it look pretty easy in Cleveland to force Game 7, and then the Cavs turned around and did the exact same thing in Game 7. But yeah, so I think the arena will be right. I think some of these guys will have a little more confidence at home, and we can see that. But the other thing, and what's different from that last series against Detroit, is we talked about when the series started. This Cavaliers team, they have not been able to get a lot of rest. When this Knicks team was sitting around just watching that series play out, this Cavaliers team went to Game 7, then had to turn right around for Game 1, and they have not really had much off time since then, as we're alternating every single other night. So I'm sure they've got some pretty weak legs, pretty tired, and I don't know if they'll be able to get up for either of these next 2 games.
The other series in the West, to push it to 6 or 7, I think it's imperative San Antonio wins tonight, and they would go up 2-1 with that. They're a 1.5 point favorite, and some enterprising fan, you want to win sign of the night and guaranteed to get on the NBC cameras. All the signs got to be is, did you miss us?
Oh, yep, that's good. I'll definitely get you
they're
on there.
back to stay
at
this time of year.
Oh, yeah, and they're going to be right tonight. Excited to see that environment. It's been really good for the playoffs, but certainly for the Western Conference Finals. No, not really.
No, I didn't.
Not really. But
they could have stayed gone a long time.
Yeah, but they're back to stay now. It feels like it. So.
It's the Mitch Johnson era. I mean, this is seamless transfer of power.
That's right. A guy who was on that bench, learned a lot from Pop, and has made it look very, very seamless since taking over. And he's got a big Frenchman that makes it look pretty easy to coach the team. So
game 3 tonight, game 4 Sunday night. How does the weekend develop in San Antonio?
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if we see it play out the exact same way we saw it play out in Oklahoma City, where we get another split and go back.
That's all OKC wants, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. If they can win one on the road, that is huge, and I think they certainly can. Obviously injuries are huge. I think everyone's waiting to see who's available tonight for the Spurs. If they can get at least one of those point guards back tonight would be huge, but I think a lot will be dictated on how the rest of the series plays out based on tonight. We talked so much about that game 2, how physical OKC was. Do they let them play tonight in San Antonio, or do they crack down a little bit on that? I know talking to Keith Smith, he said he wouldn't be surprised if the refs get together, if the league kind of says, hey, we can't let them play as much as we did in that second game. Maybe you see a more fouls being called, and how would OKC adjust to that? How would San Antonio adjust to that? Because it has been a very physical series so far.
I still don't have a preference for either side in this. I'm just enjoying it and taking it in. After 1-0 San Antonio, okay, Wembanyama and the next big thing, and I like that. I like watching him play. And I didn't really mind. Well, that was a quick dynasty for Oklahoma City. Then they even it up, and it feels like they kind of got their footing back and will take charge of this series and potentially the finals. I'm definitely for the Knicks on the other side, and Cleveland's quit. That's over.
Yeah. No, I think it's.
What's your preferences?
I don't know. In the East,
you're definitely not Knicks. You don't like Cat.
I don't like Cat. I don't really like, but I don't like James Harden either. And so it's kind of a who do I dislike?
Well, you don't have to worry about him. They're done.
No, that's true. But you ask for a preference. I was going to give you one over there, but no. I'm certainly not for whoever makes that. If it looks like it's going to be the Knicks, I'm not going to be for either team in the East come NBA Finals. I can just leave it at that. I'm for OKC. I like this OKC team. Not that I dislike the Spurs team. I really like the Spurs team as well. So it's not super strong, but if you forced me to pick a side, I would tell you I'm rooting for OKC.
I just don't dislike Oklahoma City. I don't.
No.
I'm.
But it's building out there. I mean,
I sure wish it was us.
Yeah, no, definitely.
And I thought we were on that path.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and instead you see two teams that felt like they were behind and kind of end of an era. And kind of in the wilderness, back at the front. So yeah, but that hatred to Oklahoma City, it's growing pretty fast, especially how these last two games have gone, especially game 2. You're seeing the heat out there for OKC. That's only going to grow, and that hated empire, it's about to be full on.
Are you watching what's going on in Dallas with the golf tournament?
No.
Siwoo Kim is on 57 watch.
Holy cow! Wow. Well,
10 under with 4 to play.
Birdie paradise.
He birdies all
there.
4.
Wow.
That's 57.
That's really good stuff.
Birdies 3 of the 4. That's 58.
Yeah.
And the rest of the math speaks for itself.
Yeah.
Scotty Scheffler not far behind. He's 8 under for the round with 4 to play, but
birdie paradise out there. It's just,
4 clear. Who had Siwoo? Oh, Landon had Siwoo Kim.
How about that? Okay, so Landon's feeling good going into the weekend.
Not so good with his family member, Matty Schmidt.
No.
Matty's not going to make the weekend.
Ooh, I hate that. Hard to miss a weekend when it's a course like this.
And double this weekend, right?
That's right. Yeah, double on everybody because of the limited field with the top guys. Only one guy in the top 20, and it was Scotty. So
you got a 62 out of Jordan Spieth, and that's not even the best round that's already in the clubhouse.
Yeah, no, it's
Sung Jae-im that John has that.
Yeah, now
61.
I want to say they were in the same group this morning.
They were.
Yeah, so both those guys, a nice day out there on the course. So yeah, it's birdies everywhere out there. But
65 gets you nothing.
No, it doesn't. I mean, when you got somebody on 57 watch, 65 gets you zip. I mean, absolutely nothing.
Back to that list from Message Board Genius about tortured fans. Tennessee hadn't been tortured.
No.
You win a national championship in the last 25 years.
I think
more than that, 26.
the way that you laid out
28.
the list and the teams that were listed on there, I think when they say tortured, I think that's more expectations versus results. Because a lot of those teams, it's kind of like the expectations are always there. They're fired up about their team. It's a go-for-it year, and then they struggle. That's kind of how when you started listening, I was like, I think maybe
doesn't that fit A&M?
Oh, certainly.
Yeah, but Florida State won a national championship under Jimbo Fisher 13 years ago.
That's right. Yeah, I wouldn't put Florida State on.
Never mind the whole great chapter of Bobby Bowden. You have not been tortured when you had Bobby Bowden.
No, definitely not. And that's why I think it's more of kind of expectations, where you're supposed to be versus results. I mean, again, we've talked about some of these years with Mike Norvell and how poor they've been. I think it's kind of more like that of expectations versus results type of deal.
Nebraska, clear-cut dynasty of domination under Tom Osborne. I know it in the 90s.
Sure.
Last decade now, time marches on. But everything we say about Nebraska and coaches, this has got to be the one. This is the one. Oh, this isn't the one. If he doesn't do it, fill in the same thing for IU basketball.
Oh, yeah. No doubt. And, maybe they'll figure it out, but it feels like it's
Oregon
tough
State
job.
have expectations?
Yeah, I don't know why Oregon State's on there.
Great fans.
Yeah, that's very weird.
I kind of want to take that back because they were so nice last year.
I don't know why. I forgot that they were on the list.
No, I'm sorry. That wasn't even Oregon State. That was
Washington State. Yeah, that's right. Well, right. Those those are two peas in a pod right now. I mean, they are locked for life. And
Pack is back, though.
The Pack is back, and that now. Let me tell you something. I feel like I've been okay to good the last 5-6 years of conference realignment, of kind of remembering where everybody is. I tell you what, the other day, looking at what was I looking at? And I was looking, it was the Athlon. Yesterday, somebody sent me their virtual Athlon magazine, and I was looking at the non-conference teams where they were listed for the Tigers, and I went to the Mountain West. UNLV picked to win the conference. I go, where the heck is Boise State? They were the pick to be the Group of 5 representative. And I was like, they made a mistake. Nope, they're in the Pack now. They're picked to win the Pack. And I was like, wow, that's really tripping me out right now. So it's gonna be hard to keep up with the Pack this year. It's
going
very
to be
different.
This hour brought to you every day by the great people at Landers Ford in Collierville, the #1 Ford dealership in the Mid-South. Landers Ford, your trusted destination for a vehicle that fits any lifestyle and every price point, with that seamless shopping experience from vehicle choice to financing and service with your sales rep that will become your friend. From the Ford Escape to the rugged F-150 to the adventurous Bronco, every vehicle built with those Ford tough standards. The Ford F-150, America's #1 best-selling truck. SUVs like the Ford Explorer, the Ford Escape, the Ford Expedition, Ford Broncos, and all the EVs and the hybrids. Transparency and professionalism and long-term support is what you're guaranteed at Landers Ford in Collierville. For anything service-related, oil changes, tires rotated, go online, schedule when it suits you the best, and it'll be done quickly to meet your very busy schedule. Landers Ford, active in our community in Collierville at 2082 West Poplar Avenue, or online at LandersFordMemphis.com. If it doesn't say Landers, you pay too much.
Well, we need to get to another break, and when we return, it'll be time for Big Number of the Day.
Add a little fun to your lunch break. Join Johnny Radio for Sports 56 Happy Hour from 11 to 1 every weekday on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Since 1948, in the alley, the Rendezvous. I'm with John Burgos. John, what's going on in the Rendezvous?
Brett, there's some things about the Rendezvous I want to talk about. For example, we make it really easy to park. We have valet parking right at Monroe Street in our alley. We also want to make it easy for people to get to-go orders. You can now park in our alley right at our front door and put your flashers on. People also forget that we take reservations for 6 or more. And we have a wonderful party room upstairs that can accommodate people for rehearsal dinners, birthday parties, reunions, graduations. Our rooms seat between 25 and 200 175 people. And everything at the Rendezvous can be packed to go. Brett, we also do catering. See our menu online, and we can even deliver for groups of 15 or more. So if you have any questions, always feel free to call us at the Rendezvous because we answer our phone ourselves. You'll never hear, please listen carefully for our menu has changed. Press 1 for reservations, press 2 for hours, press 3 for catering, or if you know your party's 9-digit extension number and the first 3 letters of their mother's maiden name, dial it now. Come see us at the Rendezvous.
Since 1948, the Rendezvous.
I have so many people tell me they hear my ads on this station and that they want to know if I'm really as bad a golfer as everyone says. This is Sheldon Rosengarten with Marks Bensdorf Realtors, and yes, I hate to say I am. I wish I were in my 90s because I could then tell people I shoot my age. But being a bad golfer is not terrible because I devote so much of my time to selling homes to keep my clients happy. Over the many years in the real estate business, I developed a highly successful strategic marketing program, not merely a listing program. Using preparation, presentation, and proper pricing, it works. If you're thinking of selling, talk to 2 to 3 real estate brokers and make sure that I am one of them. Find out why people often say that when you want the job done, call Shell Dunn. That's Shell Dunn Rosengarten, 483-0546 or memphisrelocate.com. Do it now. Shell Dunn, 483-0546 or memphisrelocate.com.
Hey, Mid-South, I got him on the line, Rockin' Ronnie, ready to help you get your Hyundai on. At Gossett Hyundai South, Mount Moriah. Rockin' Ronnie, how you gonna do it?
How about this, Randy? A 2026 Hyundai Elantra SE, $203.21 a month.
You gotta love that Elantra deal. What else you got?
I've got a 2026 Hyundai Palisade SEL, $215.62 a month.
That's awesome. Hey, I hear you got a great deal on Tucson.
You better believe it, Randy. A 2026 Hyundai Tucson SE, 33 miles per gallon highway, $216.40 a month.
That's what I'm talking about, Rockin' Ronnie. Plus, you get owner assurance with America's best 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty.
Come see me, Rockin' Ronnie, today at Gossett Hyundai South, 2660 Mount Moriah, or shop online at HyundaiMountMoriah.com.
That's Gossett Hyundai South. Rockin' Ronnie will be waiting for you.
Electric TU 188,709, MSRP 24,565, Palisade TU 096,984, MSRP 45,075, Tucson PH 69,7020, MSRP 31,805, includes all rebates and incentives, PF 895, excludes tax final license, but better see dealers for details on Palisade TU.
Lots of places can accidentally expose you to identity theft. A doctor's office, online retailer, insurance companies, the list goes on. Thankfully, LifeLock monitors hundreds of millions of data points a second for threats to your identity, which is way more than anybody can do on their own. LifeLock keeps an eye on your personal info, credit applications, finances. And if they find anything suspicious like new loans or changes to your financial accounts, they alert you right away, all through text, phone, email, or the LifeLock app. Even better, alerts are automatically activated the moment you become a LifeLock member. No extra work on your part. So get the alerts that can make all the difference. Join LifeLock now and save up to 30% on your first year with the promo code HERD, H-E-R-D. Call 1-800-LifeLock or go to LifeLock.com and use the promo code HERD to save 30%. LifeLock. Terms apply.
Mercedes-Benz Van Center Memphis has serious vans for serious work. At 4430 American Way, they are the Mid-South source for cargo, passenger, crew vans, and custom chassis. Need one or a full fleet? New or used, they've got it. With fleet solutions and custom upfits. Certified techs keep you moving with fast maintenance, repairs, and a large parts inventory. Mercedes-Benz Van Center is your Sprinter Van headquarters. 901-237-9302 or sprintervans.com. Mercedes-Benz Van Center Memphis, part of the Tag Truck Center family. Driven to keep you on the road.
Extraordinary events come once in a blue moon, and right now, even the most extravagant luxuries are well within reach. The one and only May sale is back at Sissy's Log Cabin, and you can save up to 50% on nearly everything in the store. This is your chance to get the service, selection, and experience that makes you feel like family at the best prices of the year, guaranteed. Don't miss the one and only May sale at Sissy's Log Cabin, because life's too short for ordinary jewelry.
Now back to Sports Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour brought to you by Landers Ford in Collierville. Here once again are Brett Norsworthy and Brian Dacus.
And she says,
Big Daddy.
Hello, Big Brand.
It's a guy, he wants to be big, then he gets big, he doesn't want to be big anymore, then he gets small, but the suit's too big.
Big Daddy.
The big boy.
You're a big guy. I think she's trying to pull a fast one on Big Daddy.
The big number of the day.
Well, Brett, my big number today comes from Major League Baseball, and this is a weird one. I don't really know what to do with this number, but it is the number 30. The Angels are 6-24 over their last 30 games. Mike Trout has played in all 30 of those games. That is the worst record over a 30-game span, any 30-game span, in Major League Baseball history by a team that had a multi-time former MVP play in all 30 games.
And they can't give him away in a deal.
No. I mean, there's just too much concern, injuries and age. I mean, it's a lot that
so
comes
few
along
people
with it.
can take that money on, and the ones that can, Dodgers, Yankees, even Cubs, they're pretty set.
Mm-hmm.
Those that might take it on, and he be the player that pushes them over the top. No, they're not wanting to do that with the looming work stoppage.
Yeah, I think it's a really good point to bring up, not just with Mike Trout, but I think I think the trade deadline is going to be really interesting this year, because there are going to be teams that they view, hey, this is a go for it year. Let's go out there and get this guy, and he can put us over the edge, and maybe we can win a World Series with this player. But there's a lot of teams that are going to say, hey, we're not in a position to win the whole thing, or we can't beat the Dodgers. Let's just, let's sit still here and see what happens next year, and then we'll figure it out after. Because you're right, not many teams are going to want to bring in new contracts, have a lot of things moving around with the possibility that we don't even see a game next year.
And what is he now, 34?
Yeah, around there, yeah. So he's getting on up there.
Just had one of the more on a deserted island careers ever.
Yeah, 34 will turn 35 before the end of the season. So an August birthday. So
and that price tag.
Oh yeah.
My big number is baseball as well. It's 833. That's the longest active games played streak right now in baseball, and that's Matt Olson with the Braves. He is 60. He's ninth all time. He's 63 from passing Stan the Man.
Wow.
There are 111 games left this year, so if he plays in 63 more or all of them, he's there. But that would just put him in eighth. Joe Sewell at the ballpark at Alabama, the Joe Sewell Stadium, he's at 1103. He would need all of next year and one more year to move past him.
Wow, that is that's incredible. But yeah, he's been really good this year, and he has been a big part of that success.
Always in there.
Yeah, no, he is. He's reliable, and he goes out there and makes things happen. 14 home runs this season, batting .274. I mean, he is.
You talk a long way from ninth to first. 833 is where he is at ninth.
Yeah.
Cal Ripken, 26-32.
Crazy. That's just
streak started on May 30th, 1982, ended September 19th, 1998. I saw him against Seattle on a Saturday night.
Wow.
I'm going to say about June 15th, 16th or so of 82, right after the streak. Never dreaming. Knew he was going to be great. Went on to be Rookie of the Year that year. And the Orioles lost the AL East on the last day of the season that year to Milwaukee. And I was pulling hard I wanted a Cardinal-Oriole World Series that year. I got Cardinals-Brewers. It ended well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, there you go. That's pretty good. But, yeah, it's it's a long way to go for Matt Olson to make any dent in
Here's some more numbers
couple.
I looked up today. So the Knicks, they got to the finals in 99. They also got to the finals in 94. And Kenny Smith was talking last night about what it was like playing as a member of the Rockets in beating them in a 7-game series. And that was the battle. That was the era of great college basketball, big men that Hakeem Olajuwon and Patrick Ewing both came out of. And Keith Lee in college was right there with them and loved Olajuwon and Ewing. Hakeem Olajuwon outscored Patrick Ewing in all 7 games in 94.
Holy cow. Oh, my God.
Took it to him.
Wow.
And I don't know that most would, but some would still say Ewing better. Not a chance.
No chance. No, I mean,
David Robinson was in that stretch.
Yeah, wow, that is good stuff. And so we'll see what the Knicks can do this weekend as they hit the road against the Cavaliers. But we need to wrap up this second hour, get to another break, and when we return, we're going to talk some SEC baseball as Arkansas got out to an early 3-0 lead, but right now Texas, they have bases loaded. Arkansas having to make a pitching change. Pitcher injured on a hit that came right back at him. I think got his ankle or somewhere on his leg, and he had to leave the game. So we'll talk some SEC baseball with the conference tournament going on in Hoover. Also the Destin meetings next week. Pat Smith from Jocks, he joins us next.
Broadcasting from the Family Leisure Studio, we are Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Hey, you ready to bang? Bangers Pickleball in South Haven is now open with 10 courts, a restaurant, and 3 bars. New to pickleball? No problem. Take a free Bangers 101 class to learn. Bangers offers a great time for everyone, and there's no membership required. Bangers even has events for you non-pickleballers like mahjong, trivia, whiskey, and wine tasting. Bangers Pickleball has it all. All the rage, all the fun, all for you. Please dink responsibly at Bangers Pickleball, 6787 Snowden Lane, South Haven, Mississippi. Let's bang.
Hey everybody, I hope you're ready for summer because all the new Silverados are right here in Olive Branch at All Star Chevrolet. No interest financing or $7,000 in cash. So go big with a brand new HD Silverado and make no payments all summer. No payments all summer with your new Trax, Colorado truck, or new Traverse with the 3rd row seating because your good credit deserves it. And this is Military Appreciation Month and our friends at All Star love our military. In May, get a $1,000 military appreciation bonus on almost every Chevy model here, 1,000. And if you want a barely driven certified Chevy or the hottest pre-owned Chevys on the market, All-Star is spot on. Tahoes, Suburbans, even Trailblazers. And for all your fleet and commercial vehicle needs, express cargo passenger vans and all, they're here. That's right, at All-Star Chevy because they're a top-rated business elite dealer. Together, let's drive. Don't miss the Ready for Summer event going on now in Olive Branch at All-Star Chevrolet or go to allstarautogroup.com.
Rick's Powder Coating for a beautiful finish every time. Rick's Powder Coating specializes in automotive, ornamental, residential, and industrial coating. With 2 conveyor lines and the largest batch ovens in the Mid-South, Rick's can accommodate all of your powder coating needs. Locally owned and operated since 2002, Rick's Powder Coating will customize a beautiful finish just for you. Drop by or call to see how Rick's Powder Coating can bring color to your life. 901-367-2771 or rickspowdercoating.com.
Hi, this is Troy Fiveash, owner of Fiveash Roof Services. I wanted to take a minute and discuss advertising with you. There are so many websites that list the best service provider in your area. Even the BBB has an accredited list. You know the one thing they all have in common? A company like mine has to pay to get on that list. So that begs the question, can those lists be trusted? You know what can be trusted? History. We've been around for almost 30 years providing customers with the best service and the best products that we possibly can. So if you need a roof, siding, or gutters, give us a call. We'll come talk to you and let you decide for yourself whether or not we know what we're talking about. Fiveash Roof Services. Best products, best warranties, and in many cases, the best price. We're fair, honest, and ethical. 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com. 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com.
Fiveash Roofing, it's what we do. We're here for you.
I'm Parker Trotz, a partner at NST Injury Attorneys. After a car accident, most people are overwhelmed. You're dealing with pain, stress, doctor visits, and trying to keep life moving forward. The last thing you should have to worry about is saying the wrong thing or making a mistake that affects your case. What many people don't realize is that insurance companies begin reviewing claims and making decisions very early. Statements get recorded, reports get evaluated, and once certain steps are taken, they can't always be undone. That's why having guidance early can make such a difference. One call can change everything. For over 35 years, our team has gone toe-to-toe with insurance companies and won billions by protecting people when they're most vulnerable and handling cases with care from the very beginning. Give us a call today. We'll review your case. NST is the way to go. Call 683-7000 or visit nstlaw.com.
The Gossett Mitsubishi Epic Sale Down is on. Get America's best back vehicles with a 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty and epic deals. So get to Gossett Mitsubishi on the Pike for 2026 Mitsubishi Eclipse Cross, $30,660 or $419 a month. And every remaining 2025 Eclipse Cross, $5,000 off MSRP. 2026 Mitsubishi Outlander, $30,310 or $399 a month. Plus, all remaining 2025 Outlanders, $6,000 off MSRP. And 2026 Mitsubishi Outlander Sport, $26,055 or $399 per month. Plus, Tennessee residents get an additional $1,000 off all 26 Outlander Sports. So hurry to Gossett Mitsubishi, 1956 Covington Pike, online at memphismitsubishi.com.
If you want it, we got it at Gossett Motor Cars.
Cross TZ 003143, MSRP 31060, Outlander TZ 020866, MSRP 32810, Sport TU 014208, MSRP 28555, includes all rebates and incentives, PF 895, excludes tax on the licensee dealer for complete details. Offer valid through end of the month with approved credit dealer stock only.
Sports 56 traffic.
Good afternoon, T-Dot's working with a couple of wrecks out here. Here's what we're seeing right now. Heavier traffic developing through Midtown on 240 South and South Parkway. Pretty much on schedule. 55 on the bridge pushing over into West Memphis as that traffic increases now on 385 Bill Morris Parkway, especially going outbound. Hey, St. Jude's Children's Research Hospital is leading the way. The world understands streets and tries to help defeat childhood cancer. Any way you can help, log on to their website at stjude.org. I'm Commander Chuck, your on-time traffic.
Memphis's original sports station. We are Sports 56, WHBQ Memphis and W253DF Memphis. Now back to Sports Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by Dobbs Brothers Chevrolet at 7450 Highway 64 in Bartlett. Here once again are Brett Norsworthy and Bryant Dacus.
Welcome back into Sports Time. Bryant and Brett with you as we start our third and final hour on this Friday afternoon. Joining us now to talk all things SEC, Pat Smith from Jocks down in Birmingham. He joins us now. Pat, thanks so much for joining us. A lot to talk about, but we've got SEC baseball finally underway as Arkansas, Texas delayed. A lot of rain in the area, a lot of rain everywhere, it feels like. But what have you made so far of this tournament? New format this year, single elimination. Do you like the single elimination, or would you prefer the double elimination?
Well, you know, I'm a baseball purist just like Brett is. I love more baseball, which double elimination is great. But knowing the way it fits in the calendar, knowing what's coming up again next week, you know, you want to be able to go fresh into the regionals. So I think the single elimination is fine. It will be interesting to see moving forward if they're going to bring all 16 teams back to Hoover. I understand why they did it to begin with because, you know, you wanted the opportunity for Oklahoma and Texas to come experience Hoover. And it's been great, guys. Every time I'm on with you guys during this time of the year when Hoover is hosting, it's a perfect location for this event. Just like many people will say Nashville's perfect for the SEC basketball tournament. Birmingham and Hoover, what they have done to that stadium, what they've done to the amenities, you know, the RV, the tailgating, just everything involved, it's very, very special. So it's been a great week and just very typical. We have been in a drought, just like you guys probably been in Memphis for months now, and of course when the tournament gets here it starts raining this week, so it's kind of an interesting move there, but we love it here and it's been some good baseball so far.
Yeah, same thing over about the last month. We were drought and now we're Noah's Ark.
Oh, I know. And listen, can't say enough about the crew. You know, I mean, Brett, you're like me. I said it today on my radio show. Baseball was meant to be played on grass and dirt, not synthetic turf. Mm-hmm. And, you know, we had some people calling the shows, you know, they need to put turf down at the Hoover Met. They need to do this. And like, no. Mm-hmm. This is the way God meant for baseball to be played, on dirt and grass. And so I'm glad that Hoover has not succumbed to the pressures of everybody else.
I'll give some passes to people not in the Power Four for budget concerns. I will yield to that in college. But if you're in the SEC, if you're one of those 16 and whoever this fits, it fits. If you don't like the shoe, don't wear it. If you're in the SEC and you have an artificial turf batter's box, I think you're bogus.
Yeah, no, I agree 100%. Because of the cost situations and things of that nature, I agree 100%.
I mean, you can't buy lime, you can't get a rake out in the SEC.
I mean, yeah, no.
Which I about feel that way about artificial turf for football in the SEC.
Yeah, no, listen, I agree. But, going back to Bryant's original question, I like the format. I like seeing the single elimination because being a former baseball coach in my prior life with my kids, I can tell you right now, being able to have that number 1-2 starter fresh and ready to go next week. I want to win an SEC championship, no doubt about it, but you also have to look at the bigger picture, and I think next week, making sure that you got all your bullets in your chamber, that's the way to go for next week.
A very savvy listener of ours that knows college sports very well, and friend of yours, I'm going to leave his name out of it, but friend of yours, he texted me earlier when I said, I wish they would knock out 4 teams, just be 12, maybe knock out some of the day. And he texted me, said, never going to happen because what it does to the pressure on those coaches of you didn't even make the tournament, they don't want to add anything to getting people fired.
Yeah, and let me tell you something, and I know I sound like a broken record when I come on with you guys in May during this event, but I'm just here to tell you, for all the craziness that's going on down at LSU, I cannot say enough compliments for the LSU baseball fan because I was out there Monday. I did Paul Feinbaum's show. I was watching a little bit of practice that afternoon. LSU fans, they knew that it was going to be a short stay in Hoover. Yeah, they won 1 game, then they got beat by Auburn. But my goodness gracious, you would think that this was Omaha and they're going to get ready to play for a national championship. They were in Hoover at full force, tailgating, enjoying the atmosphere. No matter what the record is, LSU folks, they make the trip to Birmingham. It's a pilgrimage every year, and you take your hat off to that fan base because, and listen, I mean, Ole Miss, Mississippi State, yesterday, Mississippi State, man, the fans that they had in that stadium prior to the Alabama game, I mean, it was very impressive, to say the very least. SEC baseball fans were as passionate as football fans.
No, they absolutely are. So looking at these teams that are in the SEC tournament, obviously some already eliminated, some still playing. Who do you think from the SEC has a legitimate shot to go and be in Omaha here in a couple weeks?
I'm going to say Auburn. And I mean, I know everybody's going to, probably point, obviously, Texas or Texas A&M or some other schools, but or Georgia, especially Georgia. But I'm going to tell you right now, what Auburn has pitching staff-wise, and you guys know it better than anybody, if you've got pitching and you get into a series, that is so vitally important. Auburn's got one of the best pitching staffs, not only in the SEC, but the country. They also hit the ball really well. That's what's so interesting about the dichotomy between the Alabama and Auburn baseball seasons this year, because Alabama had the 15th out of 16 teams pitching staff in the SEC. They couldn't hit the ball very well either, but they ended up being the 4 seed. Meanwhile, it was just the opposite. Auburn had the best pitching staff, middle of the pack when it comes to the offense. But both teams did things differently. But Alabama was a better seeded team. I mean, they swept Florida during the regular season. They swept Auburn during the regular season. But I'm telling you what, this is a young team for Butch Thompson. But this Auburn, they are stacked. They are loaded when it comes to pitching. And I think that's going to play really well, especially since they'll host in the regional. I think they'll get out of that. They'll host a super regional. I think they're going to go to Omaha. I think it's going to be a heavy SEC-laden Omaha like it normally is. But I like Auburn as kind of a team that may not be getting as much publicity, but watch out for them.
Pat, are you prepared that if UCLA from the Big Ten, they go to Omaha, they have the dog pile, they win it in football, they win it in basketball, they win it in baseball? I'm telling you, I've had enough if they take over Rocco's with the Jell-O shots.
Well, you know what? I mean, I know we've been through a lot over the last 6 years, during the pandemic and everything that's been going on in a crazy world. But I'm telling you right now, this would be the end times if we can't even get an SEC team to win the national championship in baseball, because the last 6 have come from the SEC. At least one team in the College World Series finals, 16 of the last 17 seasons. I mean, heck, in football, we can't even get a team to play for the national championship of the last 6 teams that participated in the CFP final. At least in baseball, 16 of the last 17, we've had an SEC team trying to vie for that. So I'm like you, Brett, man. I can't handle another Tony Petitti or especially a team out west like UCLA being able to take home. This is our championship, right? We can't let that happen.
It's our Jello shots. You stay out of Rocco's. That's not your place.
Absolutely. Now this is
fair enough.
It will be the end times for sure if we cannot knock them off the pedestal when it comes to college baseball.
Number 1 on the list next weekend in Destin is they have to leave Destin with some certitude, with something concluded. No more kicking the can. No more exploratory committee meetings. One big thing that's got to be resolved next week, Pat.
I think it's going to be rules. I was surprised you. I think probably you might have thought I was going to say CFP. I think they're going to dig their heels in there. I don't think there's really not going to be much that you're going to see there. I think that they're going to – listen, Jerry Moorhead, the president of the University of Georgia, him and Dr. Keenum at Mississippi State, I've been told this for the last few years. Those two guys are the two presidents that Greg Sankey is the closest to. They're the two people that when they get into a room, people listen. It's like E.F. Hutton back in the old days, Brett. You know, when they talk, people listen.
It's why Sankey looked like he wanted to cry on the stage at the Sugar Bowl handing the trophy to Ole Miss.
Yes. So I'm just telling you right now, those two guys, and based on what Jerry Moorhead said yesterday in that wine-raging interview that he had with multiple outlets in regards to, listen, you know, we just might need to come up with our own rules. I really do believe that the presidents and chancellors, they're going to go down a road in which they're going to try to set some things up in this conference, which, again, is not going to make a lot of people happy because right now it is the wild, wild west. But if you want to try to put rules in place for this conference, how's that going to go over for a Lane Kiffin or a Will Wade down at LSU or anybody else in the league when we all know that they're kind of skirting some things right now when it comes to rules? But I really do believe the presidents want to make a loud ovation towards the other conferences. I think they're going to walk out of there with some type of loose-based articles of confederation when it comes to rules and regulations within the SEC that could potentially be adopted down the road. I'll go back to the CFP. I think that the SEC, they have dug in. This is going to be the hill that they die on. I could be wrong, but just the people that I talk to, I think the SEC is set to disappoint a lot of people around the country. They want to stay at 12, maybe go to 16, but they most definitely don't want to go to 24, at least not now with the data that has not been presented.
And historically, the SEC has not been the school that's been the league that's been blocking playoff. It's been the one that's been at the forefront of advancing a playoff. Pat, yes. I think you're right. I think they are willing to die on it, and I think the SEC will die on it because the PR hit from everyone else on why are you excluding people? Why are you such a caste system? Why are you such a little club? Get ready because here comes Fox at you. Here comes Big 10, Big 12, ACC, all the group of 6. The SEC will be castigated, and I think eventually browbeat into it like they were going to 9 games.
You know, you're right, Brett. A lot of people are concerned with that. I will tell you that. Remember a few years ago when it was Bob Bowlesby and Greg Sankey meeting privately, going to, meeting each other at airplane hangars in Dallas and other places when they were trying to put together, the 12-team college football playoff, I mean, Greg Sankey was not anti-expansion. They wanted to do it incrementally. Matter of fact, I mean, they've kind of floated the idea of saying, well, hey, look, let's kind of take a look at this as a 16, and then we'll see where we are in a few years, maybe in 2031. But the Big Ten, because now they've got Jim Phillips, Ph.D., over there at the ACC, and Brett Yormark, they've got those guys backing them. Now, they don't have any power because they yielded that to Greg Sankey and Tony Petitti, but they believe now that they've got the pressure on the SEC. But at the end of the day, those comptrollers and those chancellors and presidents, they're going to be sitting there in Destin on Thursday and Friday, and they're the ones that's going to make policy. And they need someone to put hardcore numbers down how you're going to make up a $100 million payday when you drop an SEC championship game. And as of right now, nobody, and I can tell you, ESPN doesn't want to go past 14 teams. They're not going to lay out a plan where you can make more money. So it's going to be very interesting to see when they leave Destin, what will be, I guess, the general feeling around the conference. The coaches are going to yell and scream, but we all know at the end of the week, it's the presidents and chancellors that make that decision.
Yeah, no, it absolutely is. I know it's a lot of talk right now about football with the meetings coming up next week, but Will Wade on the basketball side of things, he's trying to put together an Avengers team of European professionals to play college basketball. And then today we're learning about the NCAA trying to limit some of these European pros and their ability to come over and play college basketball. What do you make of what Will Wade is doing with this roster, and what's going to happen in a couple of weeks if the NCAA says, hey, half your team is ineligible to play this season?
Well, it's interesting because I'm going to kind of contradict myself here, but for one, what Will Wade is doing is unfortunately being allowed, because that's what the rules lay out, is giving him the ability to do that. I don't like it. Just like it was just bizarre to me during the basketball season, not because Charles Bediako, what he was trying to do in Tuscaloosa, but it was allowed at Baylor, with their player that kind of got the whole thing started. Auburn had a couple European players. I mean, it's just, they need to do something in regards to that European player, because when you're bringing 24, 25, 26-year-old players over here to play basketball, you want to talk about opportunities for those high school kids in the United States of trying to be able to play ball. I mean, they need to do something about it as an organization. But Will Wade is basically telling everybody, hey, find me a judge that's going to stop me. And until a judge stops me, and I know that there's not many judges down in those parishes in Louisiana that's going to stop Will Wade or anybody else at that university from doing something, it's going to keep on keeping on. So I ultimately think the CSC that I mentioned that will be discussed down in Destin, I think that will be another bone of contention. Greg Sankey is getting tired of having to write affidavits like he did against Charles Bediako and stuff like that. They want to get this stuff fixed and get it handled and taken care of.
Yeah, and that's John Calipari. He's really out there leading the fight for the 18, 19-year-old, frankly, American player. Now, I find it too rich with him, Bryant. You'll remember this. Pat, you might, with your UAB connection and following them so well, remember this. I love that he's such the fighter for the 18 and 19-year-old, but he loved Chris Massey at 24 years old back in the early aughts playing for him.
No, you're absolutely right. Well, listen, we all know that those opinions change as you get older and as situations change. And listen, I mean, Will Wade is doing what LSU paid him to do, and under this current system that's messed up, it's allowed. And until they get the you-know-what and they can stop this, not only Will Wade, but other people, so that a Charles Bediako can't play 5 games before, he gets, his appeal upended like he did during this season. I mean, all of that needed to be stopped to begin with, but hopefully cooler heads will prevail and they'll get that taken care of, and we'll get some guardrails up in all sorts of fronts in the college game.
Yeah, I would hope so. It looks like that's coming. It also looks like next month they're going to vote on the 5-for-5 rule. What do you make of that potentially coming into play? And if they vote on it, it will be implemented at the start of the calendar season.
It will be interesting because we all know that there will be litigation. There will be people to try to get grandfathered in, and I know that's what LSU is hoping for R.J. Lewis, the player that they signed about a week ago in regards to, who used to play at St. John's, played obviously was drafted, Jazz and the Celtics. He's another one at the center of the controversy down in Baton Rouge. So it's going to be interesting to see who actually gets grandfathered in, because if that happens, I know a lot of people will look at basketball, but listen, there's like 4 or 5 Alabama football players. Now, obviously, the draft has already happened, and other things have happened, but they probably would not come back. But you're going to see a lot of Power 4 teams that's going to have probably a list of 3 or 4 guys that could potentially be grandfathered in. It's almost like that extra COVID year, Brett. We remember that, how everybody was granted that 6th year of eligibility if they made it through the COVID-19 situation in 2020.
I'm glad you mentioned the vid because we now and you laid it out about the $100 million and the contracts and Greg Sankey, and I'm sure his legal counsel are saying, we've got contracts. We have to put on a game in Atlanta. We got the COVID, and it was you could change a game on Tuesday for heck, you could change a game on Thursday for Saturday. I mean, contracts, nothing mattered then. Now we got to follow every letter of a contract.
Isn't it crazy? I mean, yeah, you're absolutely right. I mean, during that COVID, I mean, you had games, forfeited and not played, and that was a crazy year because, hey, the Alabama-Auburn game was not the last game of the season. Wasn't that crazy? I think Alabama ended up playing Arkansas the final week of that year in 2020. So, yeah.
Same with Egg. Egg Bowl wasn't the last game of the year that year. Ole Miss played at LSU on December 19th.
Yeah. So basically what needs to happen is someone just needs to have a revenue stream in which they can replace that. Because I've told you guys this before. When I was in Atlanta covering Georgia and Alabama, that was the most anticlimactic football game that I have ever been in Atlanta, Georgia. And I have been to some stinkers in the SEC championship game, really stinkers. But I'm just telling you right now, there was no buzz. Both teams were going through the motions. Yeah, when they got into the game right about midway through the first quarter into the second quarter, you could tell that, obviously Georgia had all the goods on Alabama, but both teams, the fans, they all knew they were both in the college football playoff. They weren't concerned. It would have been better if it had been maybe a play-in game for somebody else, like a Vanderbilt or a Texas playing each other, as opposed to Alabama and Georgia, because both teams probably wish they had been back on campus waiting and trying to get healthier for the college football playoffs. So something needs to be done. I know it had good TV ratings, but I'm just telling you from a fan standpoint, in covering that game since the inception in 1992 at Legion Field here in Birmingham, I had never been to a game that had so much low enthusiasm from the fans and everything else surrounding it. That was a problem to me.
Pat, last thing, give me, not even by opening day, that's 99 days from today, 98 tomorrow, not by opening day, but even by SEC media days, one story that will be so overdone, we're sick of by media days, and give me one that we should be talking more, but we're too busy talking about the one we're going to be sick of.
Well, I think the one we're going to be sick of is the one that you guys are probably living in a lot more than we are where I live, and that is September 19th, Ole Miss and LSU. Yep. I think that will already have played a lot, and folks are really going to be sick of that. I think the story that a lot of people need to be paying attention to is Ahmad Hardy and the University of Missouri. And this might surprise a lot of people. But Austin Simmons, someone you know very well, Brett, going up to Columbia, Missouri, playing in that system, having the two running backs that they have, they played decent defense. Their offense didn't live up to it. I'm not predicting Mizzou to be in the college football playoff, but I just think that is a team that is under the radar that people need to pay more attention to, especially with someone like Austin Simmons. We got to see how Ahmad Hardy's health is after the shooting down there in Hattiesburg. So we'll see what happens there. But I think that is a story that people need to be paying more attention to. But the September 19th game between Ole Miss and LSU, that will have played so many times by the time we get to Tampa.
I promise you, the quarterbacks all lock up by each other. After the Fiesta Bowl, went over and shook Trinidad Chambliss' hand. I can't repeat what I said to him, but it was complimentary, but the language got a little salty. And then I looked at Austin Simmons, shook his hand, and knew he was going to Missouri. And I said, hope you win every game next year, but when you come to Oxford, October 17th.
There you go. Well, guys, hey, before I leave you, it's customary for me on this program.
Waiting for it.
I have to remind you of Jerry Mumphrey, who played in the outfield for the St. Louis Cardinals. Jerry was then famously traded away from the Cardinals in the late 70s to Cleveland for a guy named Bobby Bonds, who ended up having a pretty good son that played in Major League Baseball. So a little unknown fact there. Jerry Mumphrey played outfield for the Cardinals, and then he was traded away for Bobby Bonds.
And you remember well, Whitey Herzog and Bobby Bonds did not get along.
No, not at all.
Wow, that is a good pull.
Great
Pat.
one.
That was really good. But as always, Pat, thanks so much for joining us. Enjoy the weekend, and we'll talk to you again soon.
Guys, have a blessed Memorial Day. Always a pleasure.
Thanks,
you, man.
Pat Smith joining us from Jocks down in Birmingham. A lot of SEC talk with
Jerry
him.
Mumford.
That was a call out right there. I did not see that one coming. But always appreciate Pat joining us. A lot of SEC talk today. Obviously, a little bit of everything with the baseball tournament going on. Obviously, meetings next week. And then basketball season going on right now. But before we get to a break, let me remind you about our 5 o'clock sponsor. It's brought to you each and every afternoon by Dobbs Brothers Chevrolet. The Dobbs family, an old established name, is back in the car business in Memphis. Dobbs Brothers Chevrolet, located at 7850 Highway 64 in Bartlett, offering a full selection of new Chevrolets and quality used cars to meet every need and budget. Head out there and check out those beautiful new vehicles like the 2026 Chevy Silverado 1500 with its Turbo Max engine, off-road capabilities, and advanced technology. Go in there, check it out, and get 2.9% APR for 72 months. While you're out there, check out the 2026 Chevy Traverse with a 328 horsepower 2.5-liter turbo engine and a massive 17.7-inch touchscreen, or the 2026 Chevy Equinox, a redesigned, rugged meets modern style vehicle with a 1.5-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder gas engine. And right now, eligible military personnel can get $1,000 of bonus cash on most Chevy models during Military Appreciation Month. At Dobbs Brothers Chevrolet, it's fully transparent pricing. No hidden fees, no games, and they'll cover all your needs with their service department. Dobbs Brothers Chevrolet welcomes you to a new way of providing excellent customer service. They're a great team. They're ready to help you find your next perfect vehicle at great prices. Head out there to Dobbs Brothers Chevrolet in Bartlett at 7850 Highway 64. Open Monday through Saturday from 8:30 a.m. to 7 p.m. And if you can't make it out there this weekend, they're even open on Memorial Day from 8:30 a.m. to 6 p.m. So you got the day off. Head out there and check out those Chevys. But you can go online and see them at DobbsBrothersChevy.com and head out there to test drive any of those models today at Dobbs Brothers Chevrolet of Bartlett. Well, let's get to another break, and when we return, we'll talk about what's trending.
Did you miss your favorite Sports 56 show? No! Check out the podcast, broken down hourly at sports56whbq.com or wherever you get your podcasts. Be sure to like and subscribe. Never miss any Sports 56 show again with our podcasts available daily from Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
So you need to sell your house? I have the solution. Call 901-406-1101. That's 901-406-1101. Call my buddy Bill at I Buy Houses. Any house, any area, as is. It's literally as simple as that. Just pick up your phone. Call 901-406-1101. That's 901-406-1101. Call my buddy Bill at I Buy Houses. Guaranteed to close in 5 days. If you need to sell your house fast, call Bill at 901-406-1101. That's Bill at I Buy Houses.
I've got the one and only Marty McNate on the phone, and look, I hear the drivers are wanted at Gossett Volkswagen Germantown.
That's right. The Volkswagen Driver Days are here. Listen to this, Randy. I've got 2026 Jetta S, $249 a month.
Jetta S, $249 a month. That's awesome. What else you got?
How about 2026 Tiguan S, $269 a month.
Tiguan only $269. How about Atlas?
I've got 2026 Atlas SE, $329 a month.
$329 a month for Atlas SE. That is amazing. So Mid-South, if you're looking for a deal on Volkswagen, get out there and see the man.
Come see me, Marty McNate, at Gossett Volkswagen Germantown, 7420 Winchester Road, or shop online at GossettVWG.com. And remember, your future is what you make it.
Gossett Volkswagen Germantown.
Atlas TC 564-681, MSRP 41911, Jetta TMO 312-217, MSRP 25791, Tiguan TMO 43763, MSRP 32881. Includes all rebates and incentives. Must be financed through Volkswagen Credit PF 895. Excludes tax on the license approved credit. See dealer for complete details. Offer in 6/126 dealers back only.
Hey, John, why so glum? I just got let go. The company's downsizing. This is the third time in the last 2 years. I'm done with this.
Have you thought about My Computer Career? I've heard they can train you for a career in IT in just a few months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI. And you don't need prior training or experience. Now that's a recession-resistant career.
Wow, thanks. I'll check them out.
Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation. mycomputercareer.edu, an Elite CompTIA certification partner. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
Too many families face a widening gap between what they can afford and what they need to thrive. More than half of families in the U.S. today are one paycheck away from financial crisis. At Good 360, we deliver hope when families need it most, providing essentials like clothing, hygiene items, and household goods. Put help within reach. Learn more at good360.org.
You know that feeling when something is supposed to be complicated and then it's not? That's the Dobbs Brothers way. For your new Chevrolet, there's no games, no runaround, no surprises, just straight answers from people who actually mean them. Buying a car shouldn't feel like a battle, and at Dobbs Brothers Chevrolet, it doesn't. Trust, transparency, and driving our community forward. That's the Dobbs Brothers way. Shop Dobbs Brothers Chevrolet of Bartlett today.
This traffic brought to you by Old Dominick Distillery. Come for the spirits, stay for the experience. Cheers to Memphis. Learn more at olddominick.com.
Sports 56 traffic.
Good afternoon. Just busy out here, you would expect this time of the afternoon. 40 east passing Sycamore View Road, pushing on out towards Fayette County. Lots of radar out there. Actually, lots of radar everywhere. And you're going to see that over the weekend, as for sure. As you head south of Memphis right now, be careful. Make sure that seatbelts buckled up. If you know what I mean, they're checking radar as well down through there as well into DeSoto County, south of Memphis this afternoon. Bridal season just around the corner. Shop local at Weimer's Jewelry. You'll be glad you did. You'll save a lot of money out there on Highway 64. I'm Commander Chuck. You're on time traffic.
Now back to Sports Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by Dobbs Brothers Chevrolet at 7450 Highway 64 in Bartlett. Here once again are Brett Norsworthy and Bryant Dacus.
Come with me now. Come with me now.
Back in Sports Time, Bryant and Brett with you as we've got about 30 minutes left in today's show. Got to talk about what's trending. And Brett, we mentioned some college basketball earlier, but I wanted to bring this up. Jeff Goodman over at the Field of 68. He posted this earlier this morning that he talked to 10 NBA executives with 10 different teams and got their takes on what the guys should do that are kind of in that stay or go category for the NBA draft. We already know today came out around lunchtime, John Blackwell, who was at Wisconsin last year, he has taken his name out of the NBA draft. He's going to go to Duke next season and be a starter for them. He was on this list out of the 10 executives that Jeff Goodman talked to. 10 said he should go back to college, and 0 said he should stay in the NBA. So clearly he made the choice that a lot of execs thought he should. But here's some other guys. Christian Anderson, who we talked about yesterday. I think it was ESPN that had Christian Anderson mocked to the Grizzlies. All 10 NBA executives said that he should stay in the draft. None of them said to go back to school. Malik Thomas, the freshman last year at Arkansas, 9 executives said stay in the NBA. 1 said to stay in college. The other Arkansas player on this list, Billy Richmond, all 10 execs said he should go back to college. So if he listens to what they say, Billy Richmond will be back at school next year. Alan Graves, 8 NBA, 2 college. Tunde Yesufu, 5 NBA, 5 college. This one really interesting. Koa Pete, one of the top freshmen in the country last year, especially going into the season. 7 go back to college. Only 3 stay in the NBA. Malachi Moreno, 9 college, 1 NBA. Matt Abel, 9 college, 1 NBA. Tyler Tanner, 10 college, no NBA. Amari Allen, 10 college, 0 NBA. That's another guy that ESPN had mocked to the Grizzlies. Momcilovic, 10 college, 0 NBA. Flory Badunga, 10 college, 0 NBA. Jeremy Fears, 10 college, no NBA. And Andrei Stojakovic, 10 college, 0 NBA. So some interesting reactions from some anonymous NBA executives on some of these stay or go candidates.
And we talked about it with David Cobb way back last Monday about Momcilovic. If he stays in college, he's not staying at Iowa State, is he?
No, he's in the transfer portal. A lot of people think he could land at Kentucky.
What about Alan Graves? If he stays in college, he's not staying at Santa Clara, is he?
I I think he's in the portal. I am not sure what he is, if he's in the portal or not. But yeah, he would certainly be an interesting guy if he is in the portal of where he could land, because he is a very talented player.
Billy Richmond, I feel like, will be very well compensated to play next year at Arkansas.
Mm-hmm.
How much can he improve in a year? Can he get into a lottery next year?
I don't.
Or is he in the
so.
20s?
I think he's probably towards the back end of the first round with improvement. Maybe early 20s, late teens, maybe. I just don't see him.
And he will live in that gym, live on jump shots. We know you can attack the glass.
Yeah.
We know you can defend and run in getting passing lanes, but got to be a lot better pure shooter.
Yeah, no, that's
and not just three, just 16-foot jump shots.
Yeah, and so that's the big thing for him to improve on. If they get him back, I mean, already a very talented Arkansas roster. If they can add him to that team next year, that certainly add some help. Yes, Allen Graves is in the transfer portal, so if he takes his name out, he would be a very hot commodity around college basketball in the transfer portal.
And Andre Stojkovic in Illinois, he's got some NBA money.
Yeah, no, I think
it's his dad's, but.
Yeah. I think he's doing all right in the bank account. The money he's made playing college basketball.
He got better
really
and
good.
better all year last year for Carolina.
Yeah, and he was one of them. I mean, that Illinois team had a lot of guys battling injuries, and he was kind of in and out of the lineup throughout the year. And so if he can go back and have a healthy season for Illinois, he'd be a huge factor, because he is a very, very talented player, and I think would be huge if he returns to Illinois. So I don't know when those decisions are going to be made. It's got to be pretty soon. I don't know exactly when that deadline is to take your name out. I know it's coming up pretty soon, but we'll see what some of those guys decide to do. Definitely interesting, especially a couple of guys in there that are in the transfer portal. Certainly a lot of teams out there hoping those guys return to college and get in the portal. Obviously tonight, the big game everyone's going to be watching is Game 3 of the Western Conference Finals, Spurs and Thunder in San Antonio. We talked about, it's going to be rocking down in San Antonio. It's going to be right down there in that arena, and we'll see how the Spurs respond after losing Game 2, if they can get either of those guards back, and how the Thunder, how they play on the road tonight.
Yeah, it will be, and for San Antonio, they win this one. They can really think about winning it.
Mm-hmm, yeah, no, tonight would be huge if they can get the win. They're now a 2.5-point favorite. They were a 1.5-point favorite when we were talking about it earlier. So that line moving in their favor. Yeah, they get the win tonight at home. You come back out there for Game 4, maybe win that. Even if you don't win that, you're still in a good spot. So the pressure is on for the Thunder to go on the road and try to win this game.
It feels like college football and college basketball, less dramatic upheaval on rosters this year. I like that we've eliminated one of the portal windows.
Yeah, no, I definitely like it. It's certainly been different, but I think it's really good. Obviously, here for Memphis, it gets that new coaching staff with a lot of new players time to really know what that roster looks like, start putting it together, and know that you're not going to leave spring and have to deal with guys entering the transfer portal and trying to retool your team. And that same can be said pretty much everywhere. I mean, every single place has that problem, and so I definitely think it helps the coaching staffs. They certainly like that. Now, there are other coaching staffs that probably got to spring and said, "Oh man, I wish we had another portal, because we really need some help at these different positions." But yeah, I think it's helped less chaos, certainly, with not an additional transfer portal opening.
We've about seen it all. LSU right now, they have 3 formerly employed as head coaches back at LSU.
Yeah, no,
Will Wade and Johnny Jones.
Yep.
And in football, we had Orgeron.
Yeah, Ed Orgeron joining the coaching staff. That's weird.
He got 18 million to go on vacation and come back to be running recruiting, which is about what he needs to be doing, or the strength room.
Yeah, well, that's right. Those are the
Nothing
two places
more than that.
he lives for sure.
Yeah, I know he won one.
Yeah.
Anybody within the sound of our voices could have won one with that team.
Yeah.
He did nothing special.
No, but hey, he recruited those guys in, putting them back out there to recruit. So I don't hate it. So
he needs to send a thank you gift box to Joe Burrow every day.
Yeah, no kidding. I'm sure he thanks him every night in his prayers for what he did.
Big Ed thinks he did it.
Team. No, yeah, it's hey, look, if I won a national championship too, I'd be saying I did it too. Good for him. So yeah, that's those two guys in the same coaching office. That's weird. That's different right there.
And how about Johnny?
Yeah. Well, you look at that whole staff down there at LSU, and especially the bench. I mean, it's kind of all those guys have been through Memphis, and they've all been head coaches, and now they're on the staff at LSU.
Very Tiger, isn't it?
Yeah, very Tiger. And so with Johnny Jones going back to where he was the head coach, Will Wade going back to where he's the head coach. Yeah, the LSU. It's kind of it's weird right now down there. That's saying it nice.
It is. They don't hold any grudges for too long.
No, not really. I guess not.
We're ready for summer, and it starts this weekend. It starts at All-Star Chevrolet right there on Highway 78 in Olive Branch. No interest financing or $7,000 back in cash. Make your choice. Go big with your new HD Silverado and make no payments all summer long. No payments all summer with your new Trax, a Colorado truck, or a new Traverse with that third row seating. Your good credit deserves it. And Drew DePriest and his great team, they deliver, and they always are appreciative of our great military and our friends at All-Star. This is Military Appreciation Month. Get a $1,000 military appreciation bonus on almost every Chevy model on the lot. $1,000 back if you want a barely driven certified Chevy or the hottest pre-owned Chevy. All-Star's the place to be. Tahoes, Suburbans, Trailblazers. Start it tomorrow for all your fleet and commercial express cargo passenger vans and everything else. All-Star, the top-rated business elite dealer in our area. Together, let's drive to All-Star. Don't miss the Ready for Summer event going on now in Olive Branch at All-Star Chevrolet. For more information, you can always go to allstarautogroup.com.
Well, let's get to our final break of the day. When we return, we'll wrap up today's show. We'll wrap up this week with Moe's Crunch Time.
Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. Available locally on your radio dial as well as around the world online at sports56whbq.com. Take us with you everywhere by downloading the Sports 56 app. And at home, just say, Alexa, play Sports 56. Wherever you are, it's easy to stay tuned to Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Volkswagen Driver Days is on at Gossett Volkswagen on the Pike, and it's drivers wanted. If you're looking for sporty, we Gossett 2026 Jetta S, just $249 a month. $249 a month for Jetta S. How about 2025 Tiguan S, $269 a month? Yes, brand new Tiguan S, $269 a month. And Gossett Volkswagen on the Pike wants to get you vacation ready in 2026 Atlas SE, $329 a month. That's only $329 a month for a brand new Atlas SE. If you're ready for a new ride, we got you covered at Gossett Volkswagen on the Pike. So get to Gossett Volkswagen today at 1875 Covington Pike. Online, GossettVWMemphis.com.
If you want it, we got it at Gossett Motor Cars.
Atlas TC 564,681, MSRP 41,911, Jetta TMO 312,217, MSRP 25,791, Tiguan TMO 43,763, MSRP 32,881. Includes all rebates and incentives. Must be financed through Volkswagen Credit PF 895. Excludes tax title license with approved credit. See dealer for complete details. Offer in 6126. Dealer stock only.
You are an adult. You can drink anywhere you want to. So why would you go to some chain bar when you could be one of the cool kids and go to Bell Tavern, Memphis's perfect downtown neighborhood bar? Things are hopping in downtown Memphis, and Bell Tavern is smack dab in the middle of it. You know where nothing is happening? A big, loud chain bar full of people that don't know about Bell Tavern. Come on, visit Bell Tavern and feel better than other people.
Paid advertisement for non-attorney spokesperson. Victory Legal Network is not a law firm. Cases may be referred to participating law firms. Compensation is not guaranteed.
Attention parents. Was your baby born premature and then given Similac or Enfamil brand formula in the hospital? Studies now show that premature infants given cow's milk-based baby formula face a much higher risk of developing necrotizing enterocolitis, or NEC. If you or your loved one had a premature baby and was given one of these baby formulas, you may qualify for significant compensation. Visit govictory33.com now to see if you qualify. A recent jury awarded $60 million in compensation to the family of a child who developed NEC. Families are now taking action. Visit govictory33.com now to see if you qualify for significant compensation. If your baby was given Similac or Enfamil and later diagnosed with NEC, you may qualify for significant compensation, but time is limited. Strict filing deadlines apply, and waiting could mean losing your opportunity for justice. Don't wait. Visit govictory33.com today to see if you qualify. That's govictory33.com.
Paid for by Victory Legal Network. Here's something I know to be true. Mediocre systems get exposed when the pressure's on. And your old HVAC system, same deal. Navien is built different. Their NPF hydro furnace runs whisper quiet and adjusts output so you never waste energy. Their heat pumps and air conditioners use advanced variable capacity technology to deliver smart, more efficient comfort all year long. That's what good engineering looks like. Visit NavienInc.com and upgrade your home comfort today.
The Gossett Mitsubishi Epic Sale Down is on. Get America's best back vehicles with a 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty and epic deals. So get to Gossett Mitsubishi on the Pike for 2026 Mitsubishi Eclipse Cross, $30,660 or $419 a month. And every remaining 2025 Eclipse Cross, $5,000 off MSRP. 2026 Mitsubishi Outlander, $30,310 or $399 a month. Plus, all remaining 2025 Outlanders, $6,000 off MSRP. And 2026 Mitsubishi Outlander Sport, $26,055 or $399 per month. Plus, Tennessee residents get an additional $1,000 off all 26 Outlander Sports. So hurry to Gossett Mitsubishi, 1956 Covington Pike, online at memphismitsubishi.com.
If you want it, we got it at Gossett Motor Cars.
Cross TZ 003143, MSRP 31060, Outlander TZ 020866, MSRP 32810, Sport TU 14208, MSRP 28555, includes all rebates and incentives, PF 895, excludes tax on the licensee dealer for complete details. Offer valid through end of the month with approved credit dealer stock only.
Now back to Sports Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by Dobbs Brothers Chevrolet, 7450 Highway 64 in Bartlett. Here once again are Brett Norsworthy and Bryant Dacus.
This is pretty cool, and we're just getting started.
Spanning the globe.
Go crazy, folks! Go crazy!
This game has always been called the world's greatest cocktail party. Do you know what is going to happen here tonight?
This is for all the biggest first time. You are looking live. In your life have you seen anything like that? Crunch time between the hedges.
The ball game is over, and Memphis has its first win in 16 tries. Its first win ever against its fierce in-state rival Tennessee.
It's obviously crushed.
Hammer, nail, coffin, this baby is over.
Crunch Time is brought to you by Moe's Southwest Grill. Need catering? Moe's Taco Truck is always ready to cater for you. Just give Jeannie Nash a call, 901-606-3172. Moe's.com. It's your go-to for all your taco Crunch Time emergencies. Well, Brett, what I learned today, and it's thanks to our friend Kevin Sweeney, who joins us during the college basketball season. He had the tweet earlier today that said new guidance issued by the NCAA to schools earlier this month opens a door for a crackdown on the tidal wave of international pros hoping to head to college basketball. Players from top leagues could face added scrutiny. And in it, he talks about how these pro leagues, including the Euro League and some of the other top leagues internationally, as well as guys trying to come back from playing professionally or signing professional contracts, that the NCAA is trying to crack down on that. While that's great, and I think that needs to happen, the rollout seems very sloppy. Kevin says in this story that it's going to be a case-by-case. All of these international players are going to have to submit to the NCAA what they made at those teams internationally at different places, and the NCAA they'll either look at that, they'll have a team that looks over that.
Bureaucrat in the job, case by case.
That's exactly right, and they're going to deem whether these guys are and girls in different sports are eligible or not. So I think very sloppy. I do think we need some sort of guidelines for these type of players, but I think it's very, very strange to roll this out in May when pretty much every basketball team is set through the transfer portal right now.
You cannot detest the NCAA enough. It is just one of the more contemptible groups ever. What did I learn? When we're back on Tuesday, the Cardinals could be in first place in the National League Central after 3 in Cincinnati and Memorial Day in Milwaukee. But they also could be in last. The National League Central is that tightly compacted.
Yeah, no, it's very tight. No game tonight with the weather. Doubleheader tomorrow. We'll see how they stack up on the road against the Reds. Well, what I could have done without today, Kevin O'Connell over at Yahoo Sports, he put out earlier today that the NBA has sent the latest version of its draft lottery reform proposal to teams ahead of their May 28th vote. The 3-2-1 proposal is largely the same, and details have emerged on a rule that had previously lacked clarity, and has his story attached to that tweet. So they're going to vote on it on May 28th. But in that story, it talks about how teams can't land a top 5 pick in 3 consecutive years, and points out the Memphis Grizzlies and their draft pick that they have in the trade for Jaren Jackson in next year's draft from the Jazz. Here's what it says. The top 5 pick rule will date back to 2025. The Utah Jazz picked 5th in 2025 and 2nd in 2026. Under the new rule, they can't land in the top 5 in 2027. But the Jazz traded that pick to the Memphis Grizzlies in February for Jaren Jackson Jr., which means Memphis won't be able to receive it since streaks will be triggered by the original team and not the team holding the pick. He goes into the issues with that, which very clearly a lot of issues, Sam. We've talked about that. These trades that have already happened before they even talked about implementing this rule. 2 things on it. Again, I just don't think tanking was a big enough issue to do something like this. And secondly, I don't want to have to pull out a math book or feel like I'm going back to school and being tested on how the draft is going to operate. It's ridiculous, and I don't think makes any sense. And I think the fact that they're even going by a trial period shows that they don't even have faith in it.
Just let the last go first.
Exactly.
And if you want to do that to your fans and win 9 games and join the 73 Philadelphia 76ers, then do so.
Sure.
I could have done without the whole Bear Stadium situation. I'm just exhausted with it. Look, they're dealing with the most corrupt city ever in Chicago. Head to Arlington Heights, head to Indiana, and don't look back.
Yeah, no, it is definitely weird, and doesn't feel like they can make any ground on that. Where are you beaming this weekend?
Tampa Bay at Yankee Stadium. Bruce Marshall likes that all weekend long. $300 million payroll against $100 million. Try to figure out which one has which.
Yeah, well, that is a good question to ask. Beat me tonight, Game 3 in San Antonio between the Spurs and Oklahoma City.
We got so much of all the baseball, all the golf, all the playoffs, NBA and NHL, and all the college baseball.
Yeah, it's a lot to keep an eye on this weekend. A lot of fun. Playoff galore with the NBA and the NHL, Major League Baseball, college baseball, golf. Going to be a very, very fun weekend. But that's all the time we have. Enjoy your weekend, and we'll talk to you again on Tuesday.